what you call it? We don't have to watch. Ooh, that changes a little bit.
Hey, Chris, real quick.
Yeah.
Speaking of broadcast, last week, it didn't look like you presented your screen at all. So a lot of the times where we were doing stuff on the ship, if somebody's watching the video, they wouldn't really see what the rest of us were seeing.
Yeah, no, I watched that, and yeah, it popped up a couple times, but yeah, you couldn't really see what was actually going on. I mean, you guys weren't really doing a whole lot. You were just on a ship, but
Yeah, kind of role-playing it out, trying to get Matt's character in and everything.
right. Yeah, I got confused because you guys were talking about a draconic or a dragonborn that was Steve, and I was like, I'm not there. Who are they talking about?
Yeah,
So,
another Steven.
Apparently, yeah, there's another Steve who's dragonborn. I'm not dragonborn. I'm draconic sorcerer, but I'm not dragonborn.
Yeah,
So.
I think, isn't Agarwayne an elf?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. That's what everybody can see for now. I don't think Steve can see anything just yet.
I can see your screen that you're sharing with us. It's working.
Oh, that is what I forgot. A sec here, guys. Here.
Yeah, if that shows up on the broadcast, Chris, I think that'll work.
Oh, what's? Yeah, I think it should be seen right now. It's just sometimes I forget to keep a track on what's on the broadcast and what's on my other window.
Mm-hmm.
Then I don't want to give anything away to you guys.
I think it only happens after the fact, like if we watch it later on.
That's what I was thinking too, because I think there's still like at least a couple or a minute or two delay if you were actually watching the live broadcast as opposed to the actual.
Yeah, it's got to route through all the servers and stuff and actually upload.
Oh, Steve, do you see anything? What's your?
Yeah, I see it on Roll20, and I also see it on the Hangouts.
Okay.
You guys are hearing me, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're seeing more than just your icon, right? Or is it just your icon?
I am seeing. I don't see my icon at all, but I see them. I see the three of them. Zooming out, I'd probably be able to see more of the ship.
There's something that looks like potentially a sorcerer, which is
it's like to the right.
Far off the ship.
He's floating on the ocean.
It's cool.
He's got levitate on, so it's
I got levitate, right? Yeah. Making an entrance like the JC, right?
So is this how you can be roleplayed in?
Go ahead.
Find him floating over the ocean.
There
little
you go.
water walk action. See?
Yeah.
4th level spell. You don't even have to be a messiah to do that.
For my second act, I'm gonna go ahead and feed the poor with bread and loaf and some fish.
Hey, just turn some water into wine.
Turn the whole harbor into wine, right? Yeah, I'm going straight to hell.
Well, you'll be with friends, Steve.
Yeah, right. Right.
How's that? I think that works.
I see me on the Hangouts, but I still don't see me on the Roll20.
Oh, there's a second ship. You're on a second ship to our right.
Oh, he's in the hull.
Oh, I'm on the second layer. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Second level.
All of you can see that?
Oh, I'm a stowaway. Okay, cool. I knew that water walking would come in handy.
Okay, all you can actually see is okay. Well, I can't.
Well, I saw it on your screen, not on mine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, I see it on the Hangouts, but I don't see it on Roll20.
Oh, you don't see it on Roll20.
I think you may have given control of his character to me instead of him.
Let me double check that.
Actually, it was to everybody.
Because I have. Oh, okay. Yeah,
it was the same with yours, man. So we were all looking through it to make sure you got everything set up like spell-wise, macro-wise.
That might be the reason why all you guys can see everything. All right. Let's fix that now. Um, I don't think. I think only Steve can see his own. And
On Roll20 itself, I see Rob, Ragnar, Dragonborn dude, and then
So is Steve Agawan?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
you can call me Agar.
Okay, that's a lot easier.
Agar the Horrible.
No, Agar the awesome. Agar the ridiculously awesome.
all right, that's. I'm sorry.
Okay, now I see me.
Now you see you. Just you.
Yeah. I think so. Let me zoom in a little bit. Looks like there's other people down there with me. Soldiers, some dude, white wig.
Now, Andal, I can't see my character at all.
Really?
I didn't have vision last time while I was up above. I don't think you attached it properly to the new token.
Chris, also, I'm just seeing a black square where I could see the boat before. Now
Yeah.
it's just black. Maybe our vision got removed somehow.
Mhm.
I'll try refreshing and see if it comes back.
Yeah.
It moved me over to the right side of the screen. I had to actually readjust everything. The boat was originally kind of in the middle, and then now it's
Yeah.
over on the right-hand side.
Well, I'm zoomed all the way out, and I see just a black dot. I mean,
okay.
a black square. That's all. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, same deal.
Because
You
I was
broke it.
actually outside the light source on the boat. I was seeing through somebody else's eyes, I think,
All right.
last session.
Give me a sec here. What did I do? Oh, all right. How did that happen?
No.
No. I'm saying, how did when I wait. When I
Well, both me and Rob
okay.
got new tokens, so maybe you didn't update them.
No. You go.
So none of you can see your tokens?
I can see mine.
I can't see anything but a black square where I could see the boat and our tokens before.
Oh, did you move us all to the second level? Because we're not on. Some of us are not on the second level.
No, you should be the only one that's on that level. Everybody else is on the top levels.
Yeah, but did you? How do you have that set up? Is it a GM layer, or is it actually a different page?
No, it's actually just a GM layer. It's
Okay.
hold on a second. Renothar, you have vision now?
Yeah, real small, and I can just see my token. That's it. No actual vision.
I see.
What are you doing?
Why is it doing that? That's weird. Not even how I want to.
There we go.
I can still hear you
see
guys, but
around.
I'm gonna AFK for a minute.
All
Yep.
right.
I can still hear you and I can still talk. So I guess I'm really not AFK. Whatever.
No, you're AFK. You just still have your ears on. Chris, I can see you move around and everything. I have a light bubble that's nowhere near as big as it should be, but that's okay. Because I have 60-foot dark vision, but we'll worry about it later if it's important.
I'm just wondering why you guys lost your vision, because I didn't really change anything.
I've still got my vision.
It might be one of those random things that Roll20 does.
Okay, hold on a second. What's the dark vision for the elves? It's
60
It's
feet.
60.
Same for the dwarves.
Yep.
okay. So I know why he sees more. Okay, here we go. Where's Andal? Oh, there's Andal. Yeah, I guess your tokens are not linked. Fix that later. But this is just so long.
Yep, now I got some vision.
Yay. You better pass it to the left side, man.
Sounds like you're low on water.
Sounds like your pipe's busted. I'm just linking your token, Andal. Let's see, it should be linked now. So vote for throwing Telesh off the boat. Yeah.
Nah. He's been too long of a stalwart companion.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd be on. Well, I'll figure out something like what he would be doing.
Well, he said in his post that said he was going to miss this week that, you know, he punches things and he stays pretty quiet. So that's what his character does.
Right. And folds his arm and says, "Smooth skins."
And he's the Dragonborn?
And he's the Dragonborn.
And he's a fighter, or is he a...
He's a monk.
He's a monk.
Monk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With
Oh, a
gauntlets of
monk
ogre
dragonborn.
power.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of ogre? Well, I guess that's
It's
hill
just-
or giant strength, never mind.
Yeah,
so ogre,
you're thinking-
Yeah,
what, 18?
19 strength.
Yeah,
Or 19, yeah. And then the giants are what put you up at 20 and then above,
Mhm.
Yeah,
depending on the giant. Do they still
does
do
he
that?
have, like, is this some magical item or something?
Yeah,
yeah, he is.
there's a couple in the group. Like for instance, Rindlethor has Ring of Protection and a +1 rapier of dragon slaying, and
Oh, those aren't magic. Well, those are magic.
that
aren't
is, and the dagger, the envenomed dagger is also magic.
Oh, that's weird.
I
Okay.
just got those weapons though.
they? Yeah, I have the only truly magical item that I have is a pair of gloves that are the swimming and climbing. So, but I do have some nifty gadgets that I got.
Like a badass shield, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just a masterwork shield that allows me to do some extra things with it.
Mhm. You know, if I'm not mistaken, Chris, weren't you going to do up something for these guys
Yeah.
that they might have gotten on their adventures, being 5th level?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing I was gonna ask is, what was it again that you guys took? Was it the wand or was it the ring?
I think it was the ring,
Yeah, I
because
think
there's no reason to leave it behind, really.
Yeah.
And we were hoping to recruit another caster.
Doing a campaign, so... Well, I'm just saying I'm going to be doing this...
Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Okay. All right. So, anybody want to recap for I guess for Steve, like what happened so far?
Sounds like Steve might have watched the podcast.
Yeah, I
Did
did.
you? Oh, you did.
guys,
Okay.
The last I left off, you guys were on the boat, and you were... I think I was still like 5 minutes left on it, so I don't know how it ended, but...
That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much it.
Yeah, they were
You guys were
hurling
just
over the
kinda on
side.
boat. You just introduced Matt.
Yeah, pretty much.
He had just joined. And
Yeah,
that's
the
kinda
only,
where I left off.
things that kind of happened after the introduction was the ship got underway and Ragnar and Telesh both got sick as soon as the boat started moving. And Andal went off and talked to the captain to get Ragnar out of his ship duties.
Yeah, because we had originally had 4 spots reserved, and we were only using 3.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, okay.
All right.
And I'm in the hold.
We're
And
gonna find
I've
out.
already... I mean, because me and Chris had talked a little bit about
Okay.
kinda how we were going to kind of bring it in last time we had talked.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll start off here. There we go. You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We good.
Yeah. I've been
There
waiting
we
for this for 2 weeks, brother.
Yeah.
Here he is.
All right. So, start off like how we usually always start off. It's in the theater of the mind. You know, um, just like everything, when it's total darkness, and you you start to hear faint footsteps. It seems to be coming from behind you, and you start to smell um, like incense burning. Um, flavor, it's your choice. Probably like sage, like that. And as the footsteps approach and draw closer, if there was a proverbial camera, you see it zoom out. And as it zooms out, and as the scene starts to unfold, you see the outline silhouette of a shrine. And this shrine has it's in the shape of a large beast, and it has 5 necks connected to 5 different heads. In front of the shrine, there's a hooded figure kneeling down, and you could hear prayers being whispered. And again, you hear the footsteps approach, grow a bit louder. And as you're focused on this hooded figure, obviously in worshiping or praying, um, you can hear the clink clank of armor, and that's where the footsteps was coming from. But you don't see this figure, so you're behind these two persons that's in front of the shrine. The one that approached the hooded figure kneels down and says, "Excuse the intrusion, mistress, but I have news about your brother." And you hear the whispers die out, and you hear another voice say, "Well, out with it." "My mistress, your brother has fallen." "What? How?" "There were reports of a group of adventurers that are responsible. Uh, a party known as the Company of Iron Fists. Hmm. My poor brother. He posed such a potential to be taken by these nobodies." "Yes, mistress. We've encountered them before in Thunder Tree. Their notoriety is growing, yet their faction is still in its infancy. Hmm. And it's like a naughty child. I shall devour it." "Yes, mistress. They were last seen in the port city of Leilon, boarding a cargo ship and bearing towards Boulder's Gate." Hmm. Boulder's Gate. Is that so? Cyan Wrath, ready your brood and your men. I grow hungry. We are to head north. "Yes, mistress, as you wish." And you see this armored creature stand up from his knee, um, does a bow as he backs away and leaves the room. And the hooded figure returns to um, its focus to the shrine and continues to pray. Again, darkness surrounds the scene, and what you guys see is no longer there. But then you start to hear a familiar voice, and it's disembodied, saying, "You search for me, but I'm right here." Suddenly there's a flash of light. Lightning strikes the ground, and a few moments later you can hear the crackle of this thunder. Then there's another flash. A silhouette of this monstrous winged creature can be barely made out of it. And then there's another flash, thunder, and you can suddenly see the landscape. It's a little clearer, but it's devastated. It's probably what was left behind this winged creature. Then there's another flash, and again you can see the silhouette of this beast, and his mouth opens, and you can see lightning starting to flash out towards you, and then the darkness turns bright to a blinding white. And you're suddenly awakened. Aragorn. You hear the familiar voice saying, "Are you all right, Aragorn? Are you having another one of those dreams?" When you look around, you realize you're below deck of a cargo ship, and it's Katie beside you, and she's waking you from your sleep.
Chris, only he had that vision, right?
Of the yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, I look at Katie and I ask her where we are.
And she says, "We are on the Maiden's Fortune, on our way to Baldur's Gate, and I believe we're supposed to make it to Candlekeep from there." Did you forget?
I don't remember the last. I blacked out. All I remember is we were on the road on our way to Waterdeep, and I blacked out, and I don't remember. How did you secure us passage?
And she says, "Well, I do have my ways."
I kind of chuckle and shake my head. You know I don't like it when you talk like that.
Well, as long as we're on our way to Candlekeep, that is our ultimate goal, isn't it?
I start talking to myself, and I'm basically saying, I know you had something to do with this. I know you two are in it against me, and I'm getting really upset about it. And I'm just basically just arguing with basically the air in front of me, and I'm, tell me what you know and tell me what's going on. Tell me how I got here.
Right. And Katie, she tries to calm me down by saying, Now, if you were looking for me, I'm right here.
How do?
Go ahead.
So that was in my dream. How do you know about my dream, Katie?
Your dream? What? Oh, I
You
don't
know about
know.
my dreams. You know I have my dreams, but I just had that dream. I've never had that dream before. That dream just happened. So how do
That
you know what was said in
dream-
my dream?
What was said in your dream?
What you just said.
And then she says, I'm just saying, I'm right here. Why are you talking in that direction? I'm over here.
You know who I'm talking to, Katie.
And she just gives a slight smirk. And she says, come on. You might as well get something to eat. Maybe it'll help clear your mind.
Fine. Lead the way. Not like I have a choice anyways.
Right.
And I'm kind of harumphed at this point. I've got a pretty good scowl on my face.
Right. So, she takes you from where you can see. I'm just gonna go ahead and move your token about, and she's gonna take you down the cargo hold, and she's gonna take you over here. This is basically where the other people on the ship are possibly eating and dining and stuff like that. And actually, you know what? I'm just gonna open this up.
Like the community area on the ship, I guess.
Yeah.
The galley within the galley.
Yeah, how big of a boat is this?
Isn't the galley just where the food gets made? Not actually.
Well, no, a galley is a type of ship. They're the
Oh,
old,
yeah.
they're like usually the old warships. They used them for transport too, but a lot of the
Yeah.
times they load them down with cannons.
Well, yeah.
I think
mean, I don't
this
know
is
too
before
much.
cannons, but
Yeah, like way before cannons. If you guys had gunpowder, that'd be so awesome.
Right?
Right. To the rest of the party, I do not. Well, actually, you know what? Here we go. Let's just do this. I'm gonna go ahead and take y'all and drown you. No, I'm just kidding.
no. I'm
Let's
only
go.
lightly armored. Can I swim good?
I believe
I'm
you can.
heavily armored and I have 7 strength.
I'm not
It was
sure.
nice knowing you, Ragnar. I'll call your folks when we get back.
You don't even need an undertow to drown, man. You just need like a swift current with a water hose.
Yeah.
Right. I believe Andal and Brindothar, you guys were on this side, I guess, like
Yep.
bunked up.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna say
Exactly.
Telesh is probably somewhere on the boat. And Matt, I'm just gonna say that you're probably over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the same area of that part of the hold. We've got hammocks reserved with our gear and everything.
All right. Let me see. What do I have? Oop, nope. Wrong layer. Gym layer. Oh, it is on gym layer. Okay. One second. Let's see. Do you guys see this token that I'm pinging on?
Can you do it again?
He's a guy. He's carrying a stick, or it looks like a stick.
This one over here, maybe?
Yeah, is it? You guys
Yeah,
can see him.
I didn't see it when
I
you
can
pinged
see
it.
him. I didn't see the ping, yeah.
Yeah.
I see a
Rob
new one.
pinging it.
Yeah, you
Alright.
just added somebody over here, it looked like.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, you can see the one I just added and
Yeah.
this guy right here. Okay. Cool.
Isn't this the first mate?
That is actually not the first mate.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to look at the top side, the first mate's actually next to the captain. I
Oh,
might have switched to the side, yeah.
oh,
Um,
okay.
Well, this is actually the quartermaster.
Okay.
He's the guy that's basically in charge of everything that's below deck. And actually, let me, these are things I gotta keep track on of the broadcast. Okay, here we go. Yay. All right, so like I was saying, Katie, which I don't even have a token for, I'll get a token for her soon enough. She leads you here. This is probably, I mean, there's not just one table. This is just probably like the biggest table out of the room, but there's probably a bunch of little small tables and probably crates made into like makeshift tables.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, you pull a stool up to it or another smaller crate.
Right.
or
Right.
kneel down. Yeah.
Or yeah. I mean, this is basically like where people. I mean, with the majority of the crew would have or eat and stuff, and whether will they get served and all that stuff. Um, and I mean, you do see the quartermaster. He's talking to one of the dock workers, and this lady over here, she's one of the servers, and probably and most likely the cook of the ship. You guys actually have been on have been on this voyage for about a week and a half now.
Mhm.
Okay. Um,
Okay.
So
so
how long does it predict to, like, how long does the captain predict till we'll get there?
it'll take about a good month.
Okay, yep.
A good month to get down to Baldur's Gate.
Quicker than traveling overland, though.
Yeah, well, which yeah, because it was overland. It was like almost like
Month and a half or more.
It
that
was
was like I
like
think
3
like
months.
half a year or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that with horses or is that just walking?
I think that was just like regular riding. Yeah, probably like 3 months. It was just regular riding. Or
Yeah,
4 months.
2-3 months or something.
Okay. Well,
Um,
anyway.
and then I mean, within a week's time, you guys were able to familiarize yourself with the ship and its crew. Um, but persons of interest, of course, the captain, Barbosa, his first mate, Clarence, or was it Clarence? Yeah, Clarence.
Yep. Clarence.
And then this quartermaster, he goes by the name of I don't know why I want to give him a Mormon name, but Jebediah, but everybody just call him Jink. And then this this lady over here, she's known as Mixie. Let's see, just a little description. Jebediah, he looks older than he is. Pretty skinny, scrawny, about mid height, and the stick that he carries around, it's more like a walk. It's actually a spear with a with the edge kind of blunted. He uses it more like a cane. Thank you. And Mixie, um, given there's not really much choice here, being that she's the only woman on the ship, well, aside from the other
The noblewoman
the old noble
that
woman, yeah.
had 4 guards, and they said
Yeah,
she was a
but-
water demon. We don't know if that
Um,
means aquatic elf or if it means a water genasi. We're still trying to figure it out. She was hooded
Right.
and cloaked.
They were calling the first mate was calling her a sea devil. He didn't like the
Right.
likes of them, the sea devils. But again, Mixie, aside from the noble lady, she's actually relatively attractive. But the crew, I mean, you would think like these guys would be catcalling her every time they get a chance to or try to flirt with her, but they actually treat her with a lot of respect, and probably given the fact because there's been stories around these guys heard that she's no maiden on this voyage. She's been on ships all her life, kind of thing, and she's known um, to assert herself in a sense where nobody will mess with her. Probably another thing you guys probably notice is that she has a scar on her face and on her neck. Rumors fly about that maybe she was in a fight or some guy roughed her up, and then there's other rumors that she's a survivor from a privateer ship or something like that. No one knows for sure, but they just don't mess with her.
hmm
Um,
Hey, Chris,
Yeah?
Rindlethar would for sure be trying to get a tale or two out of her, not prying or pressing her for the specifics on that, because he's got good social graces with all his diplomatic training and everything. But
all right. Well,
at some point, maybe a persuasion to see if she'll tell me some tales. If she'll allow
yeah,
it.
sure. Let's say like within that week's time, you know, like I said, like you guys try to familiarize with your ship, and I guess we could start off like that. Like, what were you guys doing on the ship so far? We'll say,
Fail! Fail! Fail!
right.
That's my
Nick,
specialty, and I failed miserably.
right. And one of the many
Oh.
times you try to work your charm, probably one of the nights where you ordered some drinks and had a round or two, and you're trying to call her over to your table, and she's like, very professional. She's like, I still need to serve the rest of the crew members, and I got to get the meals prepared for the next day. Maybe some other time.
Crashed and burned. Yep.
Yeah.
Even if I had used advantage, for inspiration, 14. Come on. Weak. All right. Well, I'll tuck my tail and just go back to eating and drinking.
Right. So that was one of the nights while you were on the ship.
Right.
Anything else that you guys were doing within that week and a half time that you wanted to do or?
We talked about it kind of at the end of the last episode, but I wanted to, as familiarizing myself with the ship, I kind of wanted to learn the various tasks, how to do them, kind of working towards the vehicle's water proficiency type of thing.
Okay, so you familiarize yourself with the ship. All right. Probably one of the points of interest that you might have if you guys were gonna just scroll over to the top side. I don't know if you guys can see it though. Maybe I should
Nope.
just check it.
No.
Okay.
Black.
Unless
Alright.
I actually,
You know what?
I'm visiting it.
Right. Well, where'd you put your token? Okay, here you
Oh,
go.
I'm just looking around.
Right. Well, I'll move your token for you. I'll actually put you where exactly you would be. So on a different day, you took particular interest in these ballistas.
Okay.
Probably inquiring about the captain, why you guys have them, that kind of stuff. And you just say, the usual ships that they use for these logistics. They usually have at least one. His ship has two. Never had a reason to use it other than probably whaling. That's the only time they ever used the ballistas. But then you took an interest and you wanted to learn how to use it, and he tells you that it's relatively simple. It's just point and aim, but you do need somebody to help you with the aiming and probably the loading. So, in the mechanic sense, if you were going to use this, you would need two people: one to aim and shoot, and one to assist you.
Okay.
It also will connotate advantage if you were going to have someone help you with the ballista.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that you learn, or probably spend a day going about learning and stuff like that. Anybody else?
Yeah, Chris, I put a couple things in chat. You might have to click over onto that tab to get it to come back up.
I'd expect that over the course of 7 days, you'd at least meet everyone on the boat.
Yeah.
Unless
Oh, sorry,
people are
more than 7
hiding.
days, like a week
Like
and a half.
I think that the one that the first mate Clarence called a Sea Devil is probably staying out of sight.
That's
Well,
true.
she's staying in the captain's area, which
Mhm.
yeah.
Right. Well,
So have I
Go ahead.
have I just been unconscious this whole time, or is that kind of up to me to
That is
decide?
well. That's. I would leave it up to you. If you were to be unconscious all this time, this is probably the time where you woke up and actually, I would say, gain consciousness in the sense where you know where you are. Maybe the other days you were half here and half there.
In a
Right,
fever
but
dream or
In
something.
my
Yeah.
fits of my little hallucinations, or
Right.
whatever they are.
And I'm
What
actually
does that look like to us when you're in those fit dreams? Because if we don't notice an elf, maybe an elf that's walking around drunkenly or something like that.
Well, most of the time I go unconscious. At most, it'll be like sleepwalking,
Yeah.
and I won't really I'm not seeing anything that's real. So I'm in a completely different reality. When the visions take over, they take over all my senses. So it's like even when I'm awake, I still see the vision or the dream themselves.
So
So
just
like for me, I'd be walking around on the boat, but for me, I'm walking around some decimated town or some mountain range of nowhere. For me, that's what I'm seeing. So I could walk right past you and you'd be a tree or a rock or or I might come after you because you look like an ogre or it just depends.
Okay.
I usually don't. They usually don't affect me in that way, and that's Katie kind of keeps me in check. She's kind of like my caretaker.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what Kitty's been doing. Like she's been I mean, if you were to draw notice while you've been on this boat, she's made sure that you didn't draw any particular notes to your to
Or
yourself.
didn't do anything, try to burn the boat down or something
Yeah,
like that in the
exactly.
process.
So
Well, did any of the rest of us notice
strange-
this stuff?
Yeah.
Well, I would say probably like from the time you guys boarded the ship and made your rounds and of course you wanted to know who was on the ship and everything like stuff
Yeah.
like that. You might have come across Katie and she probably introduced herself as just a another passenger. She probably didn't tell you where she was going, and probably introduced Erwin as I guess like a older brother, or I think that was a relationship you guys had, right? Older brother, or
So this
not
would have
a
been
particular father,
Kind of
right?
like
This
a
would be
father,
the
not a
first
father, but
time-
kind of like a father. I've raised her basically.
Okay, well, I would say like an
She was
uncle.
about 5.
Yeah.
I've
So
raised.
this would be the first time that we see Aragorn, right?
Agrowayne.
Coherently.
Aragorn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Coherently, this is probably the first time we've had contact.
Yeah, where you
Right.
guys actually see him with Katie by his side, and he's actually making his way to the table. Probably gonna, like Katie said, to get him something to
So
eat.
Katie's
to-
talked of him, but not actually
Mm-hmm.
shown us to him. Then.
Hmm. It
Okay.
looks like the sea does not agree with you, Elf. Well, let's hope your health improves moving forward.
Well, I thank you for those tidings, friend. May I get your name?
Sure, I am Rindlethar Silverglen of Waterdeep. And you?
I am Agarwan Ilfrwin of Silvery Moon.
Ah, a noble city, Silvermoon. I haven't been there in some time.
It's the same. Hasn't really changed.
I always liked that men and elves and dwarves lived in harmony there, though. Needs to be
It is
more
a
of that.
peaceful city, yes.
Is the High Lady still in rule?
No, she's turned everything over to a council. She comes in when she's needed to mediate, but she's off kind of doing her own thing now.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was starting to get up there in years, a few hundred if I recall.
Yes. But she still looks amazing. She
That's
holds her
what-
age very well.
I caught a glimpse
She
of her.
holds her age very well.
I caught a glimpse of her once on my duties as a diplomat when I was a little younger, and kind of a diplomat in training, if you will. But now I'm an adventurer with my friends here. Some new, some old, such as my friend Andal Smith here. I'll pat him on the shoulder. One of my fellow members of the Company of the Iron Fist, founding members, I should say.
Hello.
And a new fellow who's joining us. This, where'd our dwarf friend go? Ragnar, there you are.
Yes.
And you call yourselves what?
The Company of the Iron Fist.
It is a pleasure to meet you. Andal and Ragnar. I am Agarwain of Silvermoon, and this is my compatriot, Katie.
No need to introduce Katie. We've already met.
She's
Yeah,
like,
she's
"Hi-yo."
been taking care of you while you were in,
Yes.
it looked like a fever.
Yeah. Distracted
got a
at the very
fever.
least.
And the only cure is more cowbell.
And we have another member running around the boat somewhere, but well, he's hard to miss him. He's a dragon.
A red dragonborn, but he's far from the evil full dragon counterpart.
Yeah.
He's a noble monk, and
Really, I've never met a dragonborn before.
Well,
I
he-
myself suffer from the draconic curse,
Hmm.
and it would be great if I could sit with him and meet with him and ask him some questions.
well, perhaps when his connectivity is better, you can do so.
Right.
Sorry, I couldn't resist, man.
He's out of cell phone range right now.
Yeah.
he's meditating. We're gonna,
Up until this point, though, Steve, I think he's made like every game but one since we started in like January. He's been a
Exactly, yeah.
dedicated
Wow.
member of the group, so I mean,
Wow. Yeah, he's allowed to miss a few.
yeah.
I mean, I think I missed a few. You never missed
Oh,
one.
you know, you got married, Chris, that 2 week break ago. You got
Yeah.
a good reason, man.
I still could have brought a laptop or tablet.
Right, that would have worked real
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You'd have been in the doghouse.
did
2
have
weeks later, he would have been filing for divorce.
Yeah.
Let's see. Until I could find a better token. I got this token of a lady. Yeah. I guess you
Okay,
can use
so
that for
it's-
Katie.
As far as what I look like, I'm a high elf.
Mhm.
I have dark hair. I have red eyes, but they're not like. You can kind of tell that they're not really a natural red. Like, it's definitely something odd. Part of the transformation with me being draconic. And then I have scales that are starting to show where my skin is visible. But I actually have on robes that are like a deep purple with gold trim, and on the back is emblazoned a dragon with an all gold, and he is being pierced by an arrow made out of lightning.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I was going to lean over the table and say, from one traveler to another, I would maybe cover that emblem on your back, simply because we've run into some dragon cultists in our travels, and well, you might not want to outwardly announce that you're their enemy. I'll tell you more when there are less years about.
Okay, and
If you wish to hear the tales.
Truthfully, we just met him. He may be a dragon cultist himself.
I suppose, except for his is showing a dragon being slain. So.
It's actually my
lightning.
family crest, and I will not cover it, and anybody who has a problem with it can deal with me directly. Something I take a lot of pride in, and it's
I think my character knows for sure that he's not a dragon cultist.
Yeah.
right.
And you should be
Right.
proud of your family. I wear the silver leaf motif throughout my clothing gear and, my belts and everything. That's something you would notice, Steve, is my character is extremely well dressed and outfitted, and family signet ring and platinum on his right hand, and
Okay.
fine
These are actually
weapons.
my father's. I'm wearing my father's robes.
Nice.
These are actually like yeah, changing them is just not an option for me.
Mhm.
And hiding it or being anything like that, I won't. Any dragon cultist is more than welcome to come and try and take it.
I
And
carry
I'll
my
send it.
father's bow. That's all that I have of his.
I have my mother's bow.
And my axe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dagger.
Katie basically is like Scarlett Johansson. Let's
you
just
poor
go with
bastard.
that. Let's just
Except
go with that.
for you're not remotely involved in the whole idea.
Not the tight
having hurt
leather.
your stomach. Yeah.
She's more in like greens and the greens of the forest, like traditional elf. But she tends to wear them a little tighter than I would like.
And she's definitely younger of an elf than your character, right?
She's actually human. She's 20,
Oh, all right, I got it.
and I'm about 200.
Well, wait a minute. My character is half elf, and he's about 25. So, yeah, he's extraordinarily handsome too.
Good luck.
Rocking a 16 charisma there.
Tread carefully. Tread
Hey,
carefully.
girl. Hey, girl, what are you doing?
See, I don't know. I think you might be standing in the basking in my shadow there, because Andel's got an 18 there.
Well, yeah, but yours was, I thought, more toward the strength of personality than looks and leadership.
Well, remember, I rolled the highest on attractiveness when we started our characters.
Oh, were we doing that? I thought
Oh,
that
wow.
was really more
I
of
didn't
an
get a roll
off the
for
books.
attractiveness.
For attractiveness?
No,
I thought that was an off the
guys?
books type of thing, like a role playing thing, because
It was
really
kind of.
charisma doesn't. Oops.
Yeah, because charisma is more about strength of personality. But
Yeah.
When
and
we
your leadership.
originally, on the very first episode, we we rolled for attractiveness, and I got I think a 17, and everyone else was under me.
So this is a
I'm
D20.
oh, I have to watch. I have to watch that.
I
I've
don't know if
never.
the very first one
That's
is, but it might be. The first is the first
Yeah, we
episode?
lost Chris briefly.
So my attractiveness
You
is
got a 2.
oh wait, that was a
What the
D10.
hell
Hello?
No, that was
Hey,
the
what's up,
Hello.
Chris? What was that link that came up?
Oh, that's I was about to say that's that's a long link. A picture of what I thought Katie would probably look like. It's an anime that I've been watching, but I figured that'd probably be the weapon too that she'd be holding is a spear. I see her holding a spear for some reason. I don't know if you guys can.
You had to click on her and go to the second link. I can see her. She's wearing like a maroon tunic and has like darker hair.
Yeah, like a monk's outfit type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does look like a monk.
You rolled that
Yeah, I
twice.
mean,
and-
that could work. I could work with that. I prefer Scarlett Johansson personally, but you know.
Well, let me see what I can do with Photoshop.
Right. Right. Well, no,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
she has like flaming red hair. Like that's
Right.
the main thing. I mean, her hair is like just. It looks like it's just liquid fire.
Scarlett Johansson's so ugly too, you know?
Yeah.
Right, I know, dude.
I can't stand to look at her at
horrible.
all.
It's horrible. It hurts my eyes, man. Put a bag on your head for suck's sakes, man. Jesus.
yeah.
What were you guys rolling for? I got cut out when.
Oh,
Attractiveness.
Comeliness.
Oh,
Remember when
you
we
guys
rolled
rolled
those at the very beginning?
Yeah. Is
Oh my
it?
god,
Is
this
this?
is very attractive.
Yeah, Ragnar
Oh, is
rolled
this
a
for you?
2 and then a
Okay.
3.
Hey, Chris, there's an image you can use for Katie.
What's this?
Just looking at the URL.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, right. There you go.
Yeah, I just won't. I'll just leave this up here for now.
All gaming is now going to end. We're all going to stare at Scarlett Johansson and roll for her.
That's what every woman should be modeled after. Scarlett Johansson. Right. But yeah, that's basically what you would see. Scarlett Johansson in a maroon tunic matching her red hair, and I see her holding a spear for some reason. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's just an anime.
She can hold my spear.
There we go. About what? Moments into.
Oh.
Almost made it to the hour mark. All right. And yeah, you sense Thor looking her up and down. Her going, no.
Only when she's not noticing it.
I notice I kind of just lock eyes with his and just stare at him like, is there something I can help you with?
And then as soon as you lock eyes with his, you notice that almost every man on the ship is looking at her with those same. No. As you guys were conversating, Mexi, the cook/server, she walks up to your table, basically asking you what you guys want to eat, what repast you guys want, and drink and all that stuff.
The usual.
Right. And she goes away a couple of minutes later. You guys will still continue conversation. She comes back and brings back your meal. So you guys are basically, eating and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. What time of day is it actually?
It's actually, I would say, a little bit before noon.
Oh, okay.
I am just going to town on food because I haven't eaten. We've been at sea for a week, and before that, the last thing I remember is Waterdeep. And the ship left from Leylon, which is a week's travel from Waterdeep.
Probably a couple of days, yeah.
So I've been out for a good week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm just kind of ignoring everybody at this point and just stuffing my face.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
So, Katie, where are you guys heading?
And Katie, she was about to answer, but she catches herself and she looks at you, are going like, do I tell this guy or I'll just let you do it, that kind of thing.
I am so concerned with my food. I just kind of look at her, grunt, and shrug my shoulders, like, "Go ahead."
All right. And she says, "Well, he and I are on our way to Candlekeep."
Candlekeep. What brings you there?
It's complicated. And she trails
Yeah.
off.
I
This
grab
many
my
things.
mug and
Right.
I slosh it down real quick and cram all the food down in my throat and just kind of swallow it all down and kind of stammer out. Well, my gosh, woman. Any other time I can't get you to shut up, and now when I want you to talk for me, you can't get anything out.
I
And so
tell
I
her,
tell him,
I tell her that we have a month, so complicated is fine.
We appear to have plenty of time.
I kind of sit back and adjust my robes and kind of get a serious look on my face and I tell you guys that we're headed to Candlekeep because I need access to the Hall of Wisdom. And I need access to the Hall of Wisdom because about 15 years ago there was attacked by a dragon, and I was part of the brigade that was sent kind of to deal with it, and me and Katie were the only survivors. She was actually a child at the time. And in the process, me and the dragon, in the middle of the battle, our blood got mixed together, and where I should have died, I took on the properties of the dragon. And so now, for the past 15 years or so, I've just been trying to figure out how to reverse it. I come from a very proud elf heritage, and I feel like I've now tainted my family line. My parents were killed in the battle as well. And so I'm really, really kind of hell-bent on finding a way to reverse this change. Granted, I do like some of the benefits, but it's the physical changes is what I'm kind of having most of the issue with. And so if I can get into the Halls of Wisdom, I'm hoping I can find a way to reverse it because I've exhausted every other source that I can find.
I wish you luck on your journey.
Well, I don't need luck so much as I need 1,000 gold pieces, because that's what it's going to cost to get into the Hall of Wisdom.
I thought the Harples were a kind family that would allow good people on noble purpose to do research therein.
Well, they will let me in. Admission into the tower itself is a book. Any book, doesn't matter, any book. But admission into the Hall of Wisdom, where they keep their most sacred tombs, requires a tome or a book worth 1,000 gold pieces. And so that's where we're on our way there, and I'm hoping to kind of make some money along the way to help offset our costs, plus kind of put some towards finding me a book or buying a book that would get me access. And then I kind of look off to my shoulder and I'm just like, shut up, they don't need to know that.
How much would a wizard's spellbook normally sell for?
Without spells in it, I think it's
I mean like with
50
spells.
gold. With spells could be hundreds of gold.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You know, depending on the level of spells contained therein and how many, it could be over 1,000.
Because you could try and find some people who are perhaps not the nicest and make their spellbooks.
I see. That's an option that I would be willing to pursue.
Well, we do have kind of a mission of our own in mind, and when there's less years around, I would be more inclined to talk more freely.
I would be more than happy to hear anything you could propose.
But you talk as if you're formidable, but I don't know exactly in what way. Like, I don't see any weapons on you, so I'm
Where does
maybe
he
assuming
stow his
you don't.
gear?
I am a sorcerer. I am my weapon. My weapon is the energy around me.
Well, that answers that question.
Oh, Rendlethar, you take so much on faith. I'm the one that's supposed to be the acolyte here.
I would be more than happy to offer a demonstration.
Oh, I'm fine. This is newly met acquaintances. Don't need to prove anything. I'm fine. If we happen to need your abilities, I hope we could count on you in the future. But
Well, I look forward to the chance to prove myself.
Andal speaks the truth, though. I was teasing our dwarf friend Ragnar here a few days ago, telling him that he would have to go through trials and he would have to see if he measures up and everything, but I was just pulling his leg, almost literally. And, if you have a good heart and, you're true of purpose and not nefarious or, one who is selfish and, trying to do harm to those of good heart, well, you will likely find friends among us.
Yes. Yes. What little we can tell you is we are tasked to check out this cult that my friend here mentioned earlier, the dragon cult. We've
Hmm.
heard some rumors about Greenest. Is it Greenest?
The town, it's a bit south of Baldur's Gate,
Yeah, so
but
that's where we're heading right now, is to check on those rumors and see what happens from there. We've had trouble with these guys all the way to I forgot the name of the town. The northern town.
Was it Thunder Tree? No.
outside of
Thunder Tree.
Phandalin.
Yeah, Thunder Tree. We've
Yeah,
had trouble
yeah.
all the way from Thunder Tree. And we've encountered them just a little outside of Phandalin, and if they're reaching that far north from Greenest, they must have something they're trying to do,
Hmm.
and we have not
I'm
had
gonna
the present.
These are the
I'm
dragon
going to
cultists?
suggest
Dragon
at this
cultists.
point.
Hmm.
I'm going to suggest at this point that we find a place quiet where we can talk in more
Away from
secrecy.
prying ears, maybe?
Yeah.
I grab my plate and load it up with as much food as it can hold, and 2 mugs in my hand, and I'm ready to go.
All right.
Okay.
I'll ask Nixie if she, or I'm sorry, is that the correct name?
Yeah, it's Mixie.
If there's a place where the group of us could talk, maybe in private, away from just crew members and things like that. Nothing, no offense, but it's stuff that doesn't concern them, and we'd like to have a little privacy.
Right. And she says, well, you're trying to look for a private office. Well, I mean, it's anywhere on the ship where you don't see anybody around. I mean, she's not trying to be rude in a sense, but she's just awfully busy, just trying to keep up with the duties that she has to do.
All
And
right.
she points in a general direction, past the quartermaster. It's I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm pinging on the map. Can you guys see it right here?
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Okay. She just points over there.
All right. That's as good a place as any, probably. Let's check it out.
You want to head over there?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head over too.
Hmm. What kind of sea legs does Agravain have, Chris?
I was about to ask.
Oh no, yeah, I guess I am carrying a lot of food. Okay, you're right. Dexterity check, huh?
No.
I still need a Constitution check from Ragnar, because he's the one that suffered the effects last time. I'm gonna do one for
okay.
Telesh too, and then now for you, Argoin, and probably for Kate.
Oh yeah, the dwarf comes through.
Better,
Yeah.
much better.
No more blowing his groceries everywhere.
Nope.
And dwarves are usually got pretty good, constitution, so to speak.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty hardy.
I have got 16 con.
Iron guts, so they say.
Yeah.
That's funny with Ragnar though. So he's got thin arms and legs, but he's got like extraordinary health and probably endurance. And he could even be somewhat athletic if he's not strong.
Yeah, he could be fast.
Telesh did much
Agile.
better.
Yeah, Telesh did much better. You guys don't see Telesh at the moment. He's probably above deck.
This time not eating.
Yeah. Maybe he's finally he's tuning himself to the ocean.
Yeah.
He's learning to move with the boat.
Meditating himself into a
He's
calm
he's
stomach.
balancing. He's going on the edge there of the boat and just trying to balance out
Mhm.
there. And
So is Rendlethar coming?
Oh yeah.
He's still at the table.
No, I was letting everyone leave first. I might be a nobleman, but I'm kind and respectful towards the common folk. And I'd pull the door shut behind me and then,
There's no
follow along.
door. I don't
No, I
think.
don't think there's a door.
There's no door actually. It's just
It's
a very
just a corner.
of the ship. One of the corners of the ship.
Yeah, but if nobody else is around, it's perfect. So.
Yeah, so we could like go down by these crates and cop a squat or whatever down by here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a pretty secluded spot. Not much happening around here. The dock workers are off tending to the cargo, making sure that it's strapped down tightly and whatever duties that they have. On occasion, you hear the quartermaster Jink bark a couple orders, but he's basically farther than earshot. Let's just say that.
He's busy though, doing his stuff, right?
Yeah, he's doing his stuff. And then on occasion, you start hearing oh, hold on a second. Am I getting this thing right? Ooh.
Ragnar, Agrowin, just please give me your word that you'll keep what we tell you in confidence, and we'll do likewise with anything you tell us.
I swear it on my family's honor.
Yep, I swear it.
Oh, Matt, I forgot to ask, what is your character's god again?
I think it was Ula, the god of the mountains.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a newer one they added to the Forgotten Realms in 5th edition.
Yeah, all I know is that it was in the back of the book.
Yeah, they have them listed like by campaign world, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember whereabouts exactly it was. It might have been Greyhawk.
If that's the case, you might have to swap it out for a Realms one, unless Chris is going to add a couple.
Well, we'll go over it later if it comes up, or if it needs to be.
The equivalent of the Forgotten Realms, it sounds like it might be Moradin, if that's still God. I'm not actually seeing it.
Yeah, Moradin is... Well, I'm not sure if it's in the Forgotten Realms, but it's...
It was for the longest time. Oh, here it is. Yeah, non-human. Yeah, Moradin is one of them. Let's see what else we got here.
Alright. Other thing that you guys hear is probably a couple of sailors singing a couple of shanties.
Oh, that's what that was. I should have been somebody's ringtone or something.
So, here you guys at the corner. I guess to.
Yeah. Well, I'm not really sure why we're meeting here secretly.
Hey, what is that noise I keep hearing? Is somebody mixing something, or?
My keyboard?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't think it's keyboard.
Keyboard?
Oh, it sounded like somebody was typing. Somebody was tapping on something.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like somebody had a wooden top and they were spinning it inside of like a wooden bowl, and it was like ricocheting off the sides or something. I don't know.
Maybe the crew are playing some sort of game.
Maybe they're playing dice or something.
I mean, yeah, occasionally you see a couple of the men maybe gathering in one spot, but that's usually when they're off duty, or when the shifts changes. You know, you see them probably like playing games, like a dice game or something.
That's cool.
All right. Well, I set down my plate and my mugs, and I kind of wipe off and kind of swallow what's in my mouth, and I look at them, and I was like, "Now tell me about these dragon cultists."
Well,
As soon as you make your saving throw.
Oh. Darn, I was.
I'll wait for
there you
the
go.
Okay. All right.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you feel fine even after scarfing all down all that food.
Does Rindlethar actually have one of the amulets?
I'm not sure. Do you have one of the amulets?
Well, I was going to snag a robe, but they all kind of got torn up. So I think that was one of the only things that we were able to rescue.
Yeah,
Um,
from the saddlebag, I think from that.
that the dragon
Okay.
didn't eat them all. We actually had a battle with a younger green dragon that was still quite big, bigger than a horse, and we were able to defeat it without loss of life on our side. We were lucky.
Yeah.
This came right on the heels of another battle inside of the cavern near its lair, where we fought this fearsome subterranean creature called an Umber Hulk. Which, boy, that was a whole nother story. But in any event, we encountered a small group of dragon cultists. I believe there are 5 in number. And are either of you two, Ragnar or Agarwain, are you familiar with what the cult of the dragon have always done, at least over the last 100 years or more? What their main goal was?
Yeah, they're trying to bring back Tiamat.
Well, for the
Or
longest time, that was
Tiamat.
not their goal. That's only more recent. And I don't know that our characters know that. But for the longest time, they were trying to create Draco-liches,
Oh, okay.
undead dragons. And
Right.
as of late, it would seem that their goals have changed because these dragon cultists that we encountered, um, I was able to convince them that we were new recruits and fellow cultists, and they were beseeching this dragon, this green dragon named Venomfang, to join their cause, whatever it is. Um, Now, perhaps you know more than we do. It sounds like um, you have knowledge. Like, if they're trying to bring back their Dark Queen, well, that's something I think most of us don't want to see.
Yeah. I mean, well, what was the? Did you show them the emblem?
Yeah, sure.
From the dark?
I'll bring it out, making sure like not anybody else sees it. I don't want them thinking I'm involved with this group.
Yeah.
So keep this between us, please.
This seems to be their the 5-headed thing. Seems to be their emblem.
What is that? Okay, so when I see that emblem, I would recognize it as clearly something from my dream or visions. And I kind of shake my head and just kind of look down, and I'm like, of course, it figures. And I'm like, yeah, I know what that is. And I was like, that's what I've had visions about that, and I'm looking to find out what these visions are about. I have fits. I have dreams. I don't know if it's a consequence of the. Well, sometimes I don't have a choice. Sometimes I just end up places. Like now, I don't remember the past week and a half, but now I'm on a ship in the middle of the ocean. Apparently, I'm here for a reason. It usually works out that way.
That's got to be quite disconcerting.
That's one word you could use to describe it. Yes.
Well, he's a bit of a politician there.
I try.
Yes, it's extremely nerve-wracking, and I feel like I just don't even have a choice anymore. I'm just kind of being used as a tool. Only they won't tell me what I'm actually supposed to do. I just kind of get put in places and expected to figure out the best scenario.
If you cure yourself, do you suppose these visions or fits or whatever you call them will also be cured?
That's my hope.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of my main underline. I mean, the physical changes, sure. I mean that bothers me, but it's the visions and everything, and
The loss of control.
and the loss of I just no control. I don't have a choice in anything anymore. Even when I want to do something, either Katie is arguing with me or other. I just kind of stop after I say other.
Well, you've got this lovely lass here looking after you. I'm sure that helps.
Katie smiles.
Yeah, you have my sympathy.
I sometimes wonder about her true motives, though.
And then Katie gives you a look of scorn, like, what?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Shit just got real.
Right.
Ragnar, what say you, friend? Do the gods give you any insight into the condition of this poor elf? And I'm not saying that with pity. It's just that condition is, wow, horrific. And I don't mean physically. I mean the not knowing where you are, how you got there,
Right.
disorientation, and loss of time.
Yeah.
For sure.
With that, I mean, let's see. Yeah, I was about to say.
Maybe as a priest, I was wondering maybe if Ragnar had some insight into that, or there's sometimes priestly spells remove curse even.
Well,
I guess is what I'm hinting
I've
toward.
gone through before we decided to go to Candlekeep. I've basically gone through the entire library at Silvery Moon. I've talked to the Silver Lady. I mean, she's like one of the best healers ever. And there's just nothing seems to work. What most things are that presented as cures or fixes are usually just nasty, stinky concoctions that don't do anything.
Hmm.
I'll tell you one thing, friend. If we get through all this and what I am assuming are battles to come involving dragons, I can take you to my family's estate, a sprawling keep in the southwest inside the city of Waterdeep, and we have an extensive family library of ancient tomes. My mother is an elf, Lady Vandalora. She's quite a bit older than you, and she's obviously been around for hundreds of years, and she's amassed quite a wealth of books over the years. She's a sorceress, well, wizard, but it's similar, a user of magic, and she'd be definitely willing to let someone I vouch for go through our library.
Well, I would welcome the opportunity. Any knowledge is more knowledge.
I don't think a truer statement has been ever said.
Right. Sorry, stating the obvious there, but
no, it's good to form your arguments on bedrock of perfect logic.
Right. Hey, you know what? It works for Spock. Why not?
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna go ahead and explain the dream that I had, and you guys just had a run-in with you just killed somebody. And
Yes,
I think that the person you killed is probably related to some pretty powerful people. Because in my vision, I saw that symbol at an altar with some pretty mean-looking people, and she was not happy when she found out that her brother was dead. So I don't know if you knew who he was or not, but he was somebody's brother.
Unfortunately, it pains me to say that the list of people that we have killed is quite long. So,
Although none of them were in cold blood, it was all in battle.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more specific, I think.
You have heard of the company, the Iron Fist, haven't you? And apologies for my interruption, Handel, but you have heard of us, I hope. Chris has
tales have reached Silvery Moon of a band of travelers and their heroic deeds.
Well, we only recently started traveling again. We've taken a residence in Phandalin, established the keep, and we're kind of sort of like local lords, more or less. Although we don't make the townsfolk pay taxes or anything like that. Just contribute towards the defense and the management of everything.
Nice.
Works out. Mutual benefit for everyone.
Yeah. Do you have any descriptors so that we could maybe match up? somebody with this person. I mean, um, if it's someone fairly high up, there was
I'll have to go
Nesnor.
back to Chris on this one. He'll have to kind of give
Mhm.
me some more of the details out of that vision. What kind of would correlate and give you guys
Yeah.
So what was he? Was he?
more of the specific details as far as that go. Basically, I just want to let them know basically what my dream was, and that kind of I'm under the impression that the reason I'm on this boat is specifically because of these guys. Like that's why I've been brought here. And so I'm just gonna kind of go kind of full disclosure as far as my visions.
It's interesting because Ragnar was also here looking for us himself. That's how, he's lucky enough to find us.
I never know I'm looking for something until I find it, and then it's just like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, well, I guess this is what I was looking for.
I just realised I've had my mic off all this time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I was asking stuff
Yeah,
like
it's pretty
about the
quiet.
wisdom you had. Were you wondering
Yeah.
why we didn't respond to you?
Not really. I just assumed you processed it and didn't really think of anything.
No, come on, no. We'll always
Okay.
get involved.
well,
So
let's
what did we
rewind.
miss that you said? Yeah, Matt. What did we miss?
Yeah, so basically when I sort of prayed to my god and asked him of this thing, I found that there was a celestial connection between with the Agar. Wait, how do you pronounce his name again? Is it just like Agarwan or something?
Yeah, it's Agarwane, but you can just call me
Agarwane.
Agar. Yeah,
Okay,
Agarwane.
so
There you go.
Agar. Yeah, so I found a celestial connection with what he's been saying. Yeah.
And I kind of, I mean, I basically let you know that, I kind of have kind of suspected that myself, just because everything I have tried, nothing has worked. Even reversing the spell itself that would cause this normally had absolutely no effect. So I've kind of figured out that I'm kind of stuck with it until I do whatever I'm supposed to do.
This might sound silly, but have you tried drinking holy water?
Yes. I've tried ambrosia, I've tried holy water, I've tried healing potions, I've tried poisoning myself.
Oh,
I have tried.
That's- and I
I've
say this
tried
from
pretty much
experience. That is
everything.
ill-advised.
Right, right. It was in small doses.
It's the only kind.
And so in the nature of full disclosure, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of let them know everything in my vision. Any information that would help them correlate my vision to actually pertaining to them, so they can understand, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a long time ago, but I mean, Nesnor was the most
Evil and nefarious one we've met in our travels.
Yeah, so
Other
far.
than that green dragon Venomfang himself, he was quite malevolent and malicious, raising whole towns of folk and claiming it for himself. And
And we still
Nesnor the Black.
we still have no idea how terrible that one necromancer is, because we never gave him a chance to talk.
oh yeah, we did kind of just slay him. In our defense, though, he had like a mini army of like 16 or so zombies he had created. We're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah, time out. This ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Nesnor. You said Nesnor the Black?
Nesnor the Black Spider.
Black Spider. Yes. Yes.
The Drow Wizard.
Yes, that is
That would be.
the fellow that we took down. Yes.
That's about the nature of what I know.
Okay.
I've heard tales of that.
hmm And Chris Ragnar knows that there's some sort of a divine connection between, like, the visions that Agarwane is having and what he knows or is received in his prayers, maybe.
What it is that based on what he's been saying, or probably like how he's been acting, that's what he senses. He's not clear that he's not. Ragnar's not clear if it has to pertain with the visions that he saw, but the way that Argwin's been acting, like maybe from what he's researched or what he's studied before, that this usually happens to people who have a celestial connection.
Yeah, because
Right.
I know your dwarven character has like low strength and a couple things, but you also have the max wisdom you can get, which is 20.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you're like
Oh
insight
wow.
beyond the most mortals, I think.
Mhm.
Right, I would say that for sure.
Yeah. So we're probably gonna be leaning on that because nobody in the group I think comes anywhere close to that.
No.
Plus, you've had training and everything like that.
Right. Right. But I mean, that's what Ragnar would notice. I mean, like off the bat, from the way he's acting, like there's not. I mean, possession is the wrong word to say, but
I'm
kind of
touched.
something like that. Yeah, like yeah, you're touched by an angel, something like that. But you have like a
Aw,
celestial, you have a celestial connection.
Romy
There's
Downey's
something,
just smiled in her sleep.
Oh.
but you're not definite where this connection is coming from, or like
Yeah.
who, like basically who is originating from. But you know that he's touched in a sense. Um,
All right, Edgar. And don't get all on huff over this, but what's her story? Katie.
right, and
Um,
Kitty turns to you, and she's doing one of those crossed, folded arms and tapping. She like waiting to hear what you're gonna say about her. Out of interest, like she wants to hear what whether praise or scrutiny.
Katie is my ward. She's been with me since I slayed the dragon, and I rescued her, and I have raised her as my own since.
Katie nods and she's smiling. She's like, yeah.
But now that she's an adult, she's really, um, you know, no longer your ward. Isn't that the case? I mean, she's a grown
Well,
woman now, right?
she's. Well, yeah, I suppose
You
she.
know.
I will always see her as a little girl.
Yeah, that's true.
Hmm. Well,
Right.
you are of
I
the
will,
long-lived race.
I will stand by her side until the day she dies.
May it not be anytime soon, friend.
Not if
Right.
I have anything to say about it.
And
Hmm.
as you were saying that, you see one of the dock workers. He was carrying something and looked in the direction of Katie and just like smacked face into one of the crates, fell over in a commotion.
Oh, did he spill something?
No, just drop the crate that he was holding.
Uh, Let me help you with that.
And he's like, oh,
Yeah. Well,
thank you,
yeah,
sir.
maybe pick your jaw up off the deck and put your eyes back in there.
And he's like,
Skull.
and he doesn't know what to say. And as fast as he can, he picks up whatever he dropped and goes about his way. Obviously embarrassed.
Mhm.
Two
I
things
look
I
over
can.
at Katie and I ask her, "Do you have to bother him so much?"
And she's like, what? With what I'm wearing? Really?
Damn, girl. No. Um, well, friends, two things I can think of you might want to know, seeing as we're doing um, a full disclosure type of thing. Um, we found a map on these cultists. And Chris, if you wouldn't mind bringing up the overland map that had the notes. We're not
Nope.
sure exactly what it all means, but we think these are people being mentioned. We don't know who they are yet, but maybe one of you two do. Obviously, Cult of the Dragon is some sort of a presence in Greenest, and the cultists we met, I think, said they were recruited there. It's not too terribly far from Baldur's Gate, maybe a week on horseback or so. That's what we were planning on doing, buying steeds, I think, once we get down there. But these other people mentioned Resmir. That's similar to Resnar, the Black Spider,
Esnar.
but different. We don't know who Bogluck is, or maybe it's a place. Frulim Mondath is a person, we think, but we don't know who they are or where they might be found. They mean anything to either of you?
Out of game, yes. In game, presumably not.
Katie just shrugged her shoulders, like she's never seen these names before, or know of them.
Mhm.
I'm not familiar with any of the names.
Well,
I would
file
think the one
away.
with it's underlined would be more important, even though it's number 3
That's
on the list. Why is it underlined?
Last but not
and it's in
least.
capitals.
Indeed, yeah,
Right.
it does seem like someone quite
It's like
important.
maybe it's not even somebody's name. Maybe it actually means something else.
Well, keep your eyes and your ears open for these names or places moving forward, because I'm assuming they're going to be important. Obviously, the town of Greenest is important as well. That's ultimately where we're headed, but we might be able to find some information out along the way, and maybe once we get to Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So there's that.
And that's where we're gonna be stopping at is Baldur's Gate. That's where
Yes.
the end of the
Where
voyage as
that's
far
where
as the
we're,
ship.
yeah, the end
Right.
of the voyage. One other thing, and
Put some
Andal
horses
and
there.
Andal and our Dragonborn friend already knows, but if I should happen to fall in battle, make sure you retrieve this rapier and use it for yourselves. I'll draw it forth slowly and lay it onto the crate in front of us. This is a Dragonbane sword, and it will be quite useful. And if I, for whatever reason, am not able to continue through death, or fall into a deep dark hole and you can't find me, well, hopefully this will continue long after my death.
What happens if the sword falls into the hole with you?
right. Right.
Then we need to come find it
As you're
instead.
falling, is it going to be like?
As you're falling, throw the sword! Throw the sword!
We can't save you, but we can save your blade, so it can live on, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got the sword, but you're too heavy. You're gonna have to let go.
yeah. Nice knowing you, half elf.
Yeah, and if you look at the sword, it's I forgot it's shaped as in a what was that like a machete. I don't know if you're familiar with Deathstroke from Arrow series, but it's that kind of
Right.
I
Slightly
lost.
curved single-edged blade with a handguard, and I think, Chris, didn't you say there were like a couple of like serrations along it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a serration.
Yeah.
It's actually in the shape of like it looks like a flame because the hilt is actually a carved face or silhouette of a dragon with its mouth open and then the blades coming out like as if it's spitting a flame.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That sounds
Should
really
find
awesome and
something
really
for that. And,
impractical.
sorry.
Hmm?
I was just saying you should find something for that and put it in the handouts so we can have a picture of it.
Oh,
We
yeah, that's
can,
right.
we
I
can
mean, we had
look at it.
yeah. I'll list of things to do. I'll write
I've been
that down.
calling it Drake Thorn because it was originally a rapier that was more for cutting through wood and vines and all that, but our dwarven friend, Rogar Powerfist, was able to reforge it using the liver of this defeated green dragon and make it so it's particularly um, deadly to dragons.
Nice. I have a bit of a vendetta against dragons.
I think we gathered that.
I there's we have no great love either. Although our Dragonborn friend, we've saved each other lives countless times, and he's a stalwart companion. But yeah, true dragons, unless they're of the silver, gold, copper, or bronze, or you know those types, no, we can't abide them.
My affinity. I mean, I would assume by now I'm taking on the characteristics of the dragon, as far as the
Mhm.
scales and stuff go. And my eyes are red, so I mean, my affinity is red dragon.
Okay.
Just so you know, I mean that's what I'm.
Okay.
So I suppose you'll be the first non-smooth skin then.
The first what?
That's what
Non-skin.
that's what Talash, the Dragonborn monk, called all of us for the longest time, smooth skins, because he's got scaly skin.
Yeah. Now
Right,
you
I'm
have
a
scales too.
right. I'm a half skin smooth. thing.
That's,
I don't know what that would be, but
Not so smooth
sorry,
skin.
I wish I had something more clever than that one, guys. That one wasn't very good. I'm the half smooth skin.
that's
Well, I started calling him rough skin, and he, didn't
Quickly
necessarily
changed
like
his
that too
tune.
much.
yeah, that was the
Eventually,
barter back and forth. Yeah.
after the adventure, and he saw that we were useful and not,
Yeah.
some
Well, there was the turning point was in that castle, Cragmaw Castle, when when a failed stealth check brought the entire castle down on us.
Yeah, that
Really?
happens.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah.
Don't make too much noise.
Well, and we had penetrated in just far enough that about half the castle could hear us, and the other half were alerted when the battle was joined. So,
Yeah.
Oh.
So it was just
Yeah.
basically wave after wave of goblins and orcs and things running after us. And
and then an owlbear.
that was that was later. That was later.
Yeah,
It was
we did get a short rest in before that. You're right.
when we were surrounded and we basically were wading through goblins. It was, and we
Couple
were
wars.
only level 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was rough.
it was very rough. But we survived, and we took down quite a few of them. Anyway, nostalgia.
A trip down Amnesia Lane.
Yeah. So
Right. So as you guys are continuing your conversation, you hear the first mate call down, basically calling down to the quartermaster, and he yells out, he says, "Send the boys up. It's time to raise our sails. Hurry now." And the quartermaster, he doesn't say anything back. He just nods and he starts pointing and yelling back to the rest of the crew to hurry up and finish up whatever they were doing, tying down the hatches and all that stuff, and head topside to get this. I mean, the ship has been moving, but just hasn't been moving at full speed. So they may be moving at like half sail or half speed. And then the one of the dock workers, not the Hulk, but this green guy here, Ragnar, you recognize him. He's the guy that you were helping out when you
All right.
first came on the ship, and he's like, "Come on now, we got duties to attend to."
I decided to come with him anyway.
Right. Because he.
So either
haven't
they're
really-
calling everybody up. We're all part of the crew, or
Oh no.
That is leaving that totally up to you. If you, from the week that you've been here, the
well,
captain.
I mean, I've been unconscious, so I don't really even know. I should probably go up and introduce myself to the captain. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go introduce myself to the captain.
I get the feeling the captain might be a bit busy now.
No,
so-
you might have to catch him later.
yeah.
Just give me a second. Let me go.
Andal will
I'm gonna go ahead and take all your tokens. I'll move you guys. Oh, me. Is everybody going up topside? Who else is?
Yeah, I just want to see what this phrase in the
We'll
get some
is
fresh
all
air.
about.
Okay. So I'm gonna move everybody to the top side. Or
Rimthor
drop
wants the salt-scented breeze
you.
through his
And
head.
you guys are in the ocean and drowning. Okay.
Man, they have
Nice
to
knowing you.
put these decks closer together.
There you go. Quartermaster's not supposed to be here.
Hey, Talesh is surrounded. Get him.
Nice to know. So yeah, I mean the first thing that you guys do know is when you come topside is the fresh, salty air. Again, you hear you see all the other sailors going about their business. Of course, you do hear some shanties being sung. You see the captain here at the helm, with the first mate next to him. You guys don't see it here, but above you, you do see the crow's nest, and I believe his name was it One Eye? All you see from up there is a leg dangling over over his I guess his perch.
Oh. So these
Yes.
guys, do they look like they're armed? And yeah, do these
The
guys look like
guards,
that?
yes.
Well, yeah, the
Oh, right,
guards.
those the guys guarding that guy. Right,
Yeah,
forgot
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
yeah.
So the other thing you do notice is your friend Talash. He seems to be in conversation with the hooded figure that was escorted on the ship by this contingent of guards.
Cool. I guess we can ask Telesh after what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
We can also try to
Unless one of
introduce
you
ourselves.
charismatic guys want to introduce yourself.
No, I got shot down last time. I'm not doing that again. It's
Hail,
never
Telesh.
happened to me.
Yeah. So Andal, as you approach, you see Telesh. He turns around. I just always see this guy with his arms folded for some reason,
Mhm.
and he doesn't give you like the heads up, but like he acknowledges your presence, and he turns back to the hooded figure, and from where you're standing, you can hear them conversate, but you cannot understand what
Mm,
they're actually saying. It almost seems like they're speaking in tongues, but
mhm.
between themselves, they seem to understand each other. You
Mm.
do recognize, no, not that you do recognize, but you do recognize that it's not draconic what
Oh, okay.
Palash is talking. He's talking in a whole different dialect or a whole different language.
Different language.
Hmm.
Hmm. Now I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Are they speaking in fairly low tones? Yeah, so I can't hear them from where I am over here.
Oh,
It's
I can
just
barely hear him.
just
Okay.
just regular conversation. No, nothing like
Right.
they're yelling over a hill or anything
Yeah.
like that. But they're just talking casually. But I
Mm.
mean, from where you're standing, you should basically hear what the conversation is about, but you can't understand what you're saying.
Well, I speak
So
6
they're not
languages.
speaking Dwarven then.
No. Other thing that you do notice, which you thought peculiar when you approach, is every time every time that while they're talking, you see that this hooded figure has her hand on Talesh's forearm.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm
The guards
gonna
are okay.
actually tap Telesh on the shoulder to get his attention again.
Right. So right when you tap Talesh on his shoulder, um, you don't you feel, I would lack of better words, a weird sensation, but um, where almost as this hooded figure's talking, her words start to become clear, and you can start to understand what she's saying.
Okay.
Okay.
What do I hear?
And and as you were tapping Telesh, the words that you hear from her is, "I am an ambassador."
Okay. Can I pull you away from the ambassador for a moment, Telesh?
Right. And then as Telesh turns towards you, you hear the ambassador. She starts to speak. There's no need. You can understand what I'm saying.
Mm, yes. But a moment ago I couldn't.
Right. Is your hand still on Telesh, or have you taken it away?
I think I probably would keep it there. Yeah.
And then she asks you, so you are another one of the members of, was it the Iron Fist you said, Talash?
Company of the Iron Fist. Yes.
Right. And you see Talash, she nods, and she says, I see. I'm
Am I,
glad that you're here.
am I getting a sense from Telesh? Is he himself, or is he uh, beguiled in some way?
You do sense that he's himself. He's not.
Okay.
enchanted or anything like that.
Okay.
But what you do notice is that he's starting to grow impatient with your hand on his shoulder. He's like, skin.
Hmm.
Well,
Ruh-roh.
yeah, I'll remove it. With, and
Right.
does this conversation stop?
When you
Yeah.
remove your hand and when the ambassador starts speaking, it's in that foreign dialect again.
Okay. Sorry about this, Telesh.
You could always try and touch the ambassador's hand instead if she gives you permission.
Well, he's got guards around. She has
Yeah,
guards.
that's why I said if they give you permission.
I'm gonna make Telesh uncomfortable. I'm more comfortable with that.
with touch. Okay.
Yeah. What do you need of us?
Right. And I'm assuming you're putting your hands back on Telesh. And she says, as she's talking, she first starts talking. It's in a foreign dialect, and then it's slowly transition into, um, you know, language that you can actually understand. And she says, um, "I'm I'm here on a pilgrimage. I'm seeking counsel from the the Harpers."
The Harpers. Well, I do have some dealings with the Harpers. I could probably get you an audience with a member. How urgent is your need?
And she says, not not urgent enough, but they must know. And she doesn't speak much more about what it is.
Know. Would you be willing to speak to one of our members about this?
And
Must it be Harper?
Hmm?
Must it be a Harper?
She says, um, there's really no need. These men here, and she turns to the guards. She says they're adequate enough for escorting me.
Okay. Well, good day then. I'm gonna go back to Rindlethar, and I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder. I don't know how much Rindlethar cares that people know, so I'm gonna actually whisper. She wishes. She's an ambassador that wishes to speak to a Harper.
Does she seem to be one herself?
I cannot. She seems to be an outsider to the Harpers. She speaks of them as a separate organization. I'm actually whispering to.
Could I try and work out whether I think the guards are dodgy or whether they seem to have good intentions?
Sure. I mean, from where you're standing, you can roll an insight check. This is check the disposition of the guards.
Well, not really the disposition so much as motives kind of thing.
Okay. Right. I mean, when you look at them, they just look like they're typical guards. It doesn't. You don't have a sense at the moment if they have any other, I guess, agendas of their own or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just from the way they've been, I guess, acting and presenting themselves on the ship, they're just like any soldier on duty. But wherever you see one, you'll see at least another one beside the other, and the ambassador is never alone. She's always with a guard, if not the captain himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because Rindlethar, I don't know if you, How secretive are the?
It's not a great secret that I am one. I wear the pin underneath of my collar,
Hmm.
but you know, it's
Well,
only a
that's
semi-secret organization because of the spy network.
yeah. Well, I just don't. I guess I want to clarify more or less how you want that information to be, because Andal at this point would know that you're a Harper, but
Right.
I what would your general disposition to letting people know that you're a Harper?
Outsiders, I probably wouldn't share that information with them,
Okay.
but if there's a reason, maybe for me
So
to
yeah,
see
so
further, I can give it a try.
yeah, so I basically whispered to you that she wishes to contact the Harpers, and maybe you might want to try to at some point converse with her, maybe more privately.
Okay.
You know.
When she first arrived on board, her guards were ill at ease and quick to jump and pull their
Yes.
spears on anyone that uh, was anywhere near her. They seem to have
Yes.
grown a little more lax over time.
Perhaps she's curious about our friend there.
It's possible, but I can give it a try to talk to her and
Yeah.
see what she's
Yeah.
got to
I'm
say.
not sure if you want to reveal to her that you are one, but um, that
Well,
might be your easiest way to get information from her, though.
mhm. Well, we'll see if she's smart enough to notice on her own. Chris, maybe what I'll do is I'll approach her and I'll have the pin under my collar just partially exposed.
Hmm.
And it's something that like all Harpers generally wear, unless they're on some kind of like a deep covert mission, in which case they'd remove it. But I'll give that a try. Pass by there. Oh, excuse me. Wonder where you got off to, Talash. Good to see you, friend. And who would this person be? If you don't mind introducing me, that type of thing. If
Yeah.
there's time to do such a thing, I don't want to be totally rude and interrupt or anything, but
Right. So, as you approach and you nonchalantly introducing yourself, um, you heard the Dragonborn say, "Oh, this is another one of my smooth-skinned friends. This is Rindleford."
well
And
met, milady.
So does she
and
look like she's smooth skinned?
who the lady?
The lady, yeah.
From where you're standing at, you still can't really see,
Right.
but from where Rinathar's standing, you do see that she is of a elfish heritage. So I'm trying. I had her name somewhere here.
Let me see.
And again, Chris,
Oh,
keeping my hands well clear of my weapons, out in the open and empty.
Mhm.
yeah. No, I only have her down as Sea Devil. So, I don't have.
I don't know if I'm gonna call her that. Right. So, um, she she bows her she not curtsy, but she bows her head slightly, and she says something. You can't understand what she's saying. Um, and then you see the Dragonborn turn to you, and he says, "Her name is Kessie.
Mm-hmm.
She is a ambassador of
Ah,
who again?" And then he turning back to Kessie, and she says a couple things again, and then he turns around. She says of of a sea village close to the coast of Leyland. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
hmm. Well, that's something her and I might have in common. Although my duties lately haven't been to Waterdeep as much. I served as a diplomat myself out of Waterdeep. You remember the tales, Telesh.
And you see Telesh nod said, mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And then you see Keshi. She removes her hand from Telesh and she unhoods her cloak. And when she does this, the sleeve on, I would say, on her left hand, it slightly drapes down, and you see basically I would say a tattoo of what is the same symbol that you have for the Harper.
Hmm. I see you bear the mark of our order, milady.
And as soon as you say this, she tries to cover it up again.
No need for that. I'll tap my collar and slightly lift it so she can see.
Right, and then her eyes brighten up, and she nods her head, and she actually reaches out for you.
Okay, I'll hold my arm up, like, or at least extend my hand, like, in a greeting, slowly, so the guards don't run me through. You know.
Right, right. I mean, at this point, when you look at the guards, they look bored.
Oh, I see. Like they've
Like,
quite relaxed the way they are, as opposed to
yeah,
the way they were.
yeah. I mean, like they I mean, from their point of view, they've just been standing in you know, in this, just listening to this idle conversation, which they cannot understand what it's about or what is being said, just from what you guys are saying in common. That's it. But anything from her and from Talash, and they can't understand what's being said. And again, they don't understand what's being said between you two. When she grabs your hand and she says, "Oh, I'm glad you are a Harper too."
Indeed, milady. How can I be of service?
And she says, "My, well, I am on a pilgrimage to Baldur's Gate to speak to one of um, the High Consul of the Harpers. I'm in need. I'm planning, hoping to request assistance. My village has been attacked recently, and they are the only ones who I know who have helped in the past."
What is your village? Where is it located? And what or who attacked you?
And she says that we live 5 miles um, west of Leilon. It's an island, very small, but recently we've been attacked by, and she leans closer to you, and she says, the the Suhagen.
Those foul creatures from the depths.
She says, yes. As soon as she mentions that name, you can see that like a couple of the guards, they recognize that word,
Mm-hmm.
and they slowly start to turn towards you guys, probably paying a little more attention.
All right. Um, the only good Sahagin I've ever heard of is a dead Sahagin.
And she chuckles and she laughs, and she says, but there, it seems that this uh, new band have a new baron wanting to take over our village.
What do you mean, our group?
And she says, no, she says, my, there's a new uh, baron wanting to take over our village. I don't know why.
Who is this person?
And she says it's another Suhagen, a great one.
Do you know the name of this one?
And she just shook her head like, no, she doesn't.
Well, I must say, milady, you're here on noble intention, but Baldur's Gate is a very long way to go to get aid.
And
I'm
and
wondering.
yeah, go ahead. You're wondering.
No, I'm just wondering if it wouldn't have been perhaps more expedient to seek aid from Waterdeep, or maybe even Neverwinter.
And she nods and she says, she's. We only have dealings with your people.
Ah, I think I know what you mean by that. So these are the only folk you could reach out to.
And she nods her head. She's like, yes.
All right. Well, when we arrive, if you wish, I will help you seek them out, and we could speak to them together on your behalf.
And she says, I would like that so when we arrive.
Well, I'm more than happy to help out, milady. And I hope that whatever aid can be gotten, it is freely given. I can't speak on behalf of them, but they do tend to help the goodly races, especially ones beset by such evil fiend as those fish with legs.
And she's like, yes. And then you bust out your business card.
No. That's funny. No, but I'll bow and I'll say I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I am Mendolthar Silvering Len of Waterdeep, and you've maybe seen me around. I have a couple companions on this ship that I'll gladly introduce you to. Among them is the good Dragonborn here you've been speaking with. But if I can, I will do what I will, or do what I am able to help.
Right. And she actually clutches your forearm a little bit tighter, and she nods that. She says, yes, your friend Talash has been helpful, and I do know of you, Rindlethar.
Has she
Oh.
managed to make that sound creepy?
Nice. Well, tales sometimes travel, and it's been years since we started and founded our little band, but unfortunately, sometimes that notoriety comes with a price. There are others who know about us as well, I think. Others not so friendly.
And she cocks her head to one side. Her interest sparked, and she's like, "Who do you mean?"
That's a tale for another time, milady, but fame sometimes has a downside. Let's put it that way.
And
I must
she
take my
nods
leave.
her head.
Because I've been hogging the spotlight too long. I must take my leave. But I'll see you when we reach our destination. And have a safe trip until then.
And she says, "Thank you," and she releases her grip on you.
Mm-hmm. I'll nod to
And
Slash and head back to the others and kind of, Andal, you were so right on this one. It would seem that she's from a village on an island near Leyland. It was beset upon by Sahagan. She's seeking aid from the Harpers, and she didn't seek aid from another group because the Harpers are the only ones that she deals with, or they deal with. So
Okay.
apparently there's some great Sahuagin leader amongst them. She doesn't know his name, but sounds quite fearsome. So that's why she's headed to Baldur's Gate.
That's a long journey.
Indeed, but
Is she sure that her village is still going to be there when she gets back?
well, it sounds to me like their intent was not to kill, but to overtake it with this new Sahuagin overlord.
Mm.
It sounds to me like her people might be enslaved. Chris, isn't that the feeling that I kind of got?
Yeah, you are correct in that. Yeah, that the Sahuagin are, the gist is that they're trying to take over their village, not necessarily, I mean, eradicate them, but whoever sends them away, kind of thing.
Subjugate them and
Yeah.
everything.
Okay. Hmm.
So as I walk up to her slowly, I actually recognize that she was a priestess who studied with me under Baba Natarino.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've heard of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the other thing that the other party of the company of Iron Fist would know is that Baba Natarino was actually also, which Kyron will probably find out later, was his mentor, basically the guy who taught him.
Hmm.
Interesting. Small world.
Mm-hmm.
As well as being my mentor, Baba was also my uncle.
Mm-hmm. He's
Very
part of the Rockseeker clan. Yeah.
That's something we would have to let Agrawayne in on, is that the kind of like, I think it was Ragnar's uncle's brother.
Cousin, brother.
Your uncle's cousin is a good
Yeah,
dwarf by the name of Gundren Rockseeker, who we freed from captivity from the Drow, Nesnar the Black Spider. And he is the one who had the map for the Lost Mines of Pandelver, which is where the Forge of Spells was, which you can put items in there and they become enchanted. But however, the effect is only temporary, and they're working on a way to convert it into more permanent. That's part of the reason they brought that dwarven smith in, that Rogar Powerfist, who's been helping us out and forging magic items with his enchanted tools, and he has a single smithing arm that he has Gauntless of Ogre power with. He's able to do like his own power hammer action to forge these things in a time really quick way that are badass.
Nice.
Right. Yeah. So like his dragon thorn is actually made out of star metal, which was just another name for adamantium.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way to forge it was with the gauntlet of power and a dwarven hammer, which this blacksmith has. And basically, he comes from a long line, a clan that, I guess, centuries ago, when the way of Echo Caves was open and prosperous, that's what his clan was known to do. They were the blacksmiths that would create these weapons and enchant these weapons. So he's like basically like the last of the line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
The funny thing is too is he lost his pack with his hammer and his gauntlet into the dragon, and we were mainly going to get that from the dragon's hoard when we ran into these cultists called the dragon, and then kind of got trapped in the lair because of earthquakes and all this stuff. But that was an interesting couple of sessions.
Yeah.
In any event, now we're on a new quest, and it would seem that maybe there's a potential side quest along the way of this, aquatic elf and her village seeking aid from the Harpers. So
Yeah.
I do think
Well,
our
yeah,
trail is going to lead.
Are
I'm
we?
sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we'd have to turn all the way around to go back and
Mm-hmm.
sort it all out ourselves.
Yeah. The only thing I was, this is out of character, but yeah, I was thinking if she had a way to transport us, but if she did, she'd probably just transport
She transported herself to Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Right. Maybe she can't transport. Maybe she can transport from this distance, but
Or if she can only do it as a one-way trip back.
Or unless if there's
Right.
like the hook thing that sometimes where you place down an anchor and you can go back to the anchor, but you can't just go
Right.
anywhere.
Oh, like
Right.
a word of recall.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like clerics specifically have that. Well, here's another thing, though. We might be able to secure her aid without actually going ourselves, because I think our road is still going to lead us to Greenest with that map. That's
Mhm.
another thing, is we could maybe put in some questions to people that have knowledge to see if they recognize any of those names. Resnar being the most important, but
Rezmir.
I'm sorry, you're right. But I don't want to just go bandying that name about casually. I have a feeling stuff
Right.
that could get you into big trouble. Then maybe that's my character's, the rogue in him thinking that. But you say that to the wrong person, and all of a sudden they know you're onto them, and
It's like
snowball.
Voldemort. Like, what, Voldemort?
Oh, you shall not be named.
um. Yeah. So as you guys continue, I guess, figuring out, the reasons why and why she's here, or I mean, why she's here, but what's gonna happen, basically what you guys were talking about. You do see Talashi. He parts ways and he walks over to you guys. Yeah, basically just to join in whatever you guys are doing. And, his whole thing with it. I always see this guy with his arms folded for some reason, and he says, um, it looks like she may need help.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Well, we'll see what we can do about getting it for her once we arrive in Baldur's Gate.
Does she have a way of aiding us to aid her? In your conversation with her, do you know how is she
And,
planning on getting back to her village?
and you see Talashi. He shrugs his shoulders and he says, "I think she only is asking for assistance, and I guess depending if they agree, they'll probably escort her back. I don't know."
Hmm. It's just kind of, being on a ship and everything. You're kind of locked into where you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
Not being railroaded, we're being shipped.
Yeah, our rails are the ocean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if any of us had anything else important to do. If we can find out anything about these names, kind of like on the down low, maybe we would. I'm not above snooping around a little bit too, Chris. And
I would think you'd have a better shot getting information once we get to Baldur's.
yeah,
I think maybe we should send Katie over to talk to her, and the whole female to female thing. Maybe we can get a little bit better.
well,
She
yeah,
seems to be responding perfectly fine. She doesn't seem like she's hiding anything from us. So
Well,
I don't
yeah.
Well,
think that'd be that more effective.
you
But
Steve, you can
there's-
do this with Katie. Have her name drop me and say, "Oh yeah, he seems a good fellow,"
This Randallthar guy, I've known him for 7 days, and he's just awesome.
Yeah.
Dreamy, no. But he seems a good sort, and
Those
yeah.
eyes and
His
that
friends
hair,
as well.
just
Yeah,
delish.
nice.
So, with these thoughts still in your head about what's what has passed so far, we'll just fast forward a little bit. It's the middle of another week. It's week 2. You guys are more or less getting to the same routine where wake up, breakfast kind of thing, chit chat with the dock workers, and then go about whatever you guys are probably doing, or probably even helping out on the ship.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, here and there, getting to know it and the
Mhm.
routines and kind of the people. Yeah.
Andal would want to be doing something where he's using his muscles, so hoisting sails, whatever
Yeah.
would require him to work out a little bit. He'd get a little cabin fever.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're basically almost there with with the dock workers moving crates about
And
and
even when everyone is like tired for the day, I just move crates back and forth. Just
Just to move. They don't need moved. They
They
were
don't
already
get moved.
moved. They were where they're supposed to be, and he's just, I'm gonna put them over here, guys. And we got something to do tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So could we spend our downtime trying to get proficiency with some gaming sets?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'd like to try and
Actually,
get proficiency with playing D&D. I'm going to try and teach the crew how to play D&D.
There you go.
except in the game that you're teaching them in the fantasy world, they're part of a modern society where there's students and workers.
Right.
And they enjoy playing D&D.
Call it subways and apartments.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, you thought of a game. D&D came up with a bunch of polyhedral dice that you could probably use to roll.
Now
You-
here's the meta thing. If he gets proficiency in D&D, does he get like a +1 to like every roll?
Everything.
Every roll.
Well, and the
Plus
bigger
one to
question
everything.
too: do we have to start calling him Gary Gygax,
He invented
the
it.
creator?
Right.
and you guys are just the three friends. Was it he started with 4 friends or two friends? Two friends? What?
One main friend. What was that other guy's name? Gary Arneson or something? Or?
Yeah, and I think it was another, and two
Or
other brothers.
Steve Arneson, maybe. Yeah, the original Chainmail Rules,
Well,
1974.
yeah. So you find some sailors and basically you're playing like a regular couple dice, that kind of thing. And it's just like any other day. Like probably you guys did some work and stuff like that, and you guys bat down the hatches and get ready to go sleep. Not just a routine, go sleep, start over again next day. Probably find some things to make the trip go faster. But on this particular night, we'll say this is drawing on the third week. The we'll see. Well, the crew is not actually here on board. It's I'd say probably later into the evening on this particular night. The you hear the captain and the first mate talking. And you probably were topside, just getting the fresh air and that kind of thing. You hear the captain and first mate. The captain saying that I'm going to turn in for the night. I believe there's nothing else that needs to be done. I believe you will be more capable of handling another night, Clarence. And you hear Clarence say, "Yes, Captain, no problem. Go on. I'll wake you up at first light." And you see the captain, he goes below deck, and Clarence at the wheel. So far, there's probably a couple of dock hands on the top side. Let's see. Hold on 1 second here. The priestess and if I could click on them, which I can't for some. Oh, I know why. Sorry. The priestess and the guards, they are below deck. The captain, he's actually by the anchor. She's probably making rounds. Dock workers are more or less off to the sides, probably smoking a pipe or two, just enjoying the night air before heading down below. Um, let's see, the captain
Hey,
is
girl, how you doing?
Still hitting.
No.
right.
But I'd say hi. I'm not going to be rude and just ignore her. That would be nice.
Right. I'm gonna say that Telesh is actually he's down below, probably meditating as per usual. Um, you guys, I guess depending where you would want to be, would you have turned in early or would you be remaining topside? Like it would be.
I would be topside playing my lute,
How
kind
late
of about
is it,
there.
actually?
It's about like 10 in the evening.
10 in the evening.
Yeah, around there.
Sun has gone down.
Sun's gone down.
I'd be probably topside writing a player's handbook.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of right about in there. I'm kind of strumming on my lute, tuning it, and kind of spacing off.
Yeah, I suppose Andal would probably be just watching the waves or whatever. Maybe there's some animal or something, sea creature that he sees swimming out in the water.
Chris, you know that Rindlethor is restless, and he's similar to the elves in the only needing this 4 hours of trance. So, he's probably pacing around a little bit. In his own way, staying active, like Andal's lifting heavy things. Me, I'm more along the lines of keeping my agility up. Probably juggle things here and there, and if there was a place on here where I could maybe float like an empty crate out and launch a couple arrows out into the water, into the crate type thing. Do
Okay.
that
All right.
just to keep
Are you
active.
going to get the crate back?
No,
And the arrows are gone too.
unless somebody wants to mage hand it,
Well, you could always just attach rope to the arrows.
Well, I could attach a length of rope to the crate, just haul it back
Yeah, I was gonna say it.
That's true.
It'd be mixed.
in. And if I miss, well, that arrow might be gone. But
Yeah, I would think it would be.
but just stuff like that, keeping busy.
Right. Katie, she's below deck, so she probably turned in early or just turned in like a regular time kind of thing.
She got tired of Rob hitting on her.
Mhm.
Or Rindlethor, sorry.
Maybe she's waiting for him down below. What did that be? Okay.
I check her for weapons first.
Right. So, let's see. So I forgot what they call it. Is it the stern or the bow? Aragwin, and the crew members that are on the ballista. I mean, more or less, they're trying to just keep awake. I mean, through the week, it's just been, same thing over and over again. But they're just keeping their post. You can feel the ship veer side to side as Mr. Clarence is just keeping the ship on a straight course. Andal, as you're looking over, what's this? This is the port, I believe.
Starboard is the right side.
Starboard.
Port's
Okay,
left.
thank you. Port's left. Thank you. Over the starboard side. You can give me a perception check. See if you see any sea creatures.
The new perception check.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Regular
the new
one.
perception check. The new perception check, please.
Okay.
I gotta actually put that for everybody else. Please, thank you. Right. So as you're looking over, you see a flash of scales, just like what you see like a fish at night, from
Okay.
basically the light source being from the moon. I mean, it shows like a really dark blue in the ocean, and you see a flash of scales. It looks relatively large, but nothing alarming. More or less, you just think, oh, probably it's like a small shark or maybe a small dolphin just swimming by.
Okay.
Dolphins don't have scales.
Oh, that's right. Dolphin, that's good.
Neither do sharks.
Better than the sharks. Well, I mean, the flash
Crocodile.
of. Yeah. Um,
It's just reflected light.
Reflected light. Yeah. I mean, if you've been night fishing, that kind of what you see, just like a flash in the water. Minotaur, go ahead and give me an attack as you're shooting at this crate. Over which side, the port side or the starboard side?
Star or port. I'm sorry.
Port side. Okay.
Miss.
Oh.
Right. You missed the crate. It sinks into the water.
I am out of practice. This won't do. Can I try again?
Sure, you can try again.
That's much better.
Yeah, that time.
There we go.
And
I really hit it. Oh yeah, pierce that wood.
And I think it's surprised too.
Yeah.
Never
Right.
flop.
The crate was like, "I'm free," and then
Oh yeah. Think again. Great. Nice.
Argowin, as you're playing your lute, saying that you're probably facing out towards the ocean, you can give me a. Actually, I don't even think you have this macro yet. Let me see.
we'll just roll 8 times perception, real quick.
Wait, so
Oh,
how does
you-
this 8 times perception thing work?
Well, he's gonna roll against it, and then you're not gonna know which one he
Is
actually
your actual roll.
is your actual roll.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
That's one way to do it.
Just give me 1 sec. I can actually give you the.
yeah.
I'd usually just like get the DM to do the rolling for you.
Oh yeah, I could do that too.
Yeah, that is the other way of doing it. Yes, it involves less rolling.
Yeah, but this is fun for Chris, I think, because there's a bunch of rolls to confuse us. It's like, you know, we don't know, but we can see the roll right out there in front of us.
Right. Hold on 1 second.
So he's just
Argo.
basically rolling 1d8 and picking which one of those?
I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also to negate the whole
Metagame.
metagaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like you said, you could for yourself, the GM, make a perception for each of the characters on your own screen.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just roll it once for yourself, and then let us know if we see something. You don't even have to tell us that we're making perception rolls.
Yeah.
Hey, are you guys familiar with Uncanny Dodge for Rogues? I
Mhm.
forgot that I got it at 5th level.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you can use your reaction to half damage.
How
yeah, you got it
awesome is that?
It is an awesome.
That is very awesome.
there. Well, the idea is pretty much all characters at 5th level get some sort of really awesome thing. Because
That's
like
pretty
at that
kick-ass.
stage, you're getting most martial characters get their extra attack.
Well,
Yeah.
think about this. I'm getting drilled for 20 some odd points of damage. Oh, you know what? Let's make that 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice, but keep in mind that it means that you can only have if
One
more than one
reaction.
enemy attacks you,
Yeah.
then you can
Mhm.
only do it once still.
That's true. Well, I also can't use my reaction to get an attack of opportunity if somebody leaves my
Yeah.
threatened area too. So
That's-
What I
if
particularly
I
like
use that,
is in another campaign I'm playing as an Eldritch Knight, and so I've got something like 21 AC, and then because it's an Eldritch Knight, I have the Shield spell, and so it's just massive AC. And Shield lasts over the whole turn. It doesn't
The
just
whole
last
turn.
for that one hit.
Oh wow, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Shield
Um,
is the best spell. The best level 1 spell.
Yes. Well, yeah.
I can't imagine any other spell being better than that, to be honest, at level 1.
And
yeah, it's pretty cool.
so Argoin, I think the macro should be in your. It should be probably up on your screen. If you click on your token, you see it. Is he
No.
there? No?
Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay.
Okay. Just go ahead and get that roll.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yep.
Oh, nothing below 11. That's nice.
Yeah, that's...
So, are we all doing this?
Nope, just him. This is for what just what he sees in his peripheral vision as he's playing his lute. Nice. You two, Argwin, do you see another flash of like light underneath beneath the water? Basically, what you know of like fish, but it's larger than just like I guess a regular sized fish. It's more or less almost like the size of like a shark or dolphin, and it seems to be more or less close to the ship. Probably, I would say about 30 feet away from where you're standing.
I alert that guy down just below me. Looks like he's got a helmet, Fluffy.
Oh, that's
I'm like, hey, what is this over here?
and he turns around and says, "Excuse me."
I was like, I just saw something in the water.
Do you know who
Over
you're
here.
talking to?
No, I don't. I'm sorry. I haven't had the pleasure to meet everybody on the ship yet.
Right. Well, I am Captain Hollis of the Black Fist Guard.
My apologies, Captain. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something over here in the water.
Did you? And he turns and he looks in the general direction where you're probably pointing to, or where you're motioning at, and he doesn't see anything. He's like, all I see is just dark water. Why am I wasting my time? And he turns around and continues on his patrol.
Denied.
Can I try to use some persuasion on him?
Sure.
I want to, yeah. So I'm going to do a persuasion and kind of tell him, hey, I really did see something out there. It's dark water and something flashed.
And he turns around and he says, "I believe you did. I'm sure you did." And he just turns around again, nods his head, and starts walking away.
So, are you going to call anyone else over? Or are you just going to keep looking?
No, I'm going to sit down and play my lute.
It's the ocean. There's animals in the ocean.
That flash.
Well,
Hey,
Well, not flashlight, but it's just like a reflector.
if he's not concerned, I'm not. He's on the ocean. I've never been on the ocean before. Maybe I'm overreacting.
Right. So you see that the captain he continues on and he makes his way to about over here. Let's see. Ragnar. So you're what is it? Creating your player's handbook?
Yep.
As I'm imagining that you probably have like a quill or a pen, a quill pen, and an ink bottle. Probably some parchment with you, some loose parchment with you. There is a sudden gust of wind. I need you to give me a dexterity check to see if you can actually hold on to these pages that you're writing on.
Acrobatics or dexterity save?
Just a regular dexterity save. I mean, if you can put acrobatics in it. I guess you do some, I don't know, some tumbling or something if the papers get away from you. It's just if you hold on to it.
Doesn't actually make a difference. Nope.
Right. So as this gust of wind passes by you, it catches you off guard, and the parchment, and you just like set down like the first 10 rules for this player's handbook that took you a couple hours to get out, and it's flying in the wind towards the port side, out to the sea.
Wait, port side is that way?
Yes, towards that side.
Okay. Can I chase after it, or has it already gone over the boat?
It's
Over the
it.
side.
You could chase after it.
Sweet. I'm gonna try and chase after it and catch it.
All right.
So should I try and do acrobatics again, or?
Sure. As you're reaching the bow here of the port side, so we'll just shift you a little bit more. Go ahead, give me another dexterity check. You might be able to catch the last page as it drifts off, and you, with your hands outstretched and trying not to go overboard, you're able to snatch that last page. And when you look at it, it's not the page that had the rules on it.
I'm just gonna put it back in and stare. Sorry, put it back in my pockets and just stare at the edge in dismay.
Yes, very unfortunate that. I mean, fortunate enough that you got one of the pages. It was probably one of those beginning of the module kind of thing. Maybe you were trying to figure out some type of scenario. And with that, just give me a sec here. I got the macro should be up on. Well, actually not yet. And this is as you're in that spot. Go ahead and then give me that perception roll. This is to see if you notice anything as you're looking at
Where's the macro?
it. Should show up on, if you click on your token, it should show up at the top
Oh,
left
okay.
corner.
So you've just modified my token.
Yeah, you can just modify it later.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yep, I see it. It's not adding my bonus to perception.
No, it's not.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I didn't
not.
think that it was adding to
To anybody?
Agarwin's, and it's
Well-
adding to mine, but
Oh,
I think
okay,
it just
just them two.
So just-
Okay.
Add 8 to mine then.
Just add 8 yours. Okay, so adding 8 to what you.
yeah, it's adding to Rin's, but I don't think it's adding to Agarwin's either because the generic PC name is not pulling anything. It needs to be his actual
Oh, I see. I'll fix that
character
in,
name.
later. Yeah, but so just need to add an 8 to what? So okay. So you modify it as 8, right? Plus 8. Okay.
Yep.
Mhm. So
Okay.
they're all
Yeah.
pretty good rolls.
Right. And then as you're looking over, you see not a flashlight, but I mean the moonlight, it gives enough light where you can see this dark water. But probably I would say about 50 yards away, you see the dark water, but there's a darker shade in this water. And this is actually where that darker shade is actually where Rindothar's crate is currently floating, and probably where one of his arrows sank in. And Rindothar, if you could give me another attack on that crate again, it's probably you just taking another shot.
Ooh, nice shot.
Nice.
Wow.
Right, and I mean, yeah, you definitely see that arrow fly and strike the crate again. But you, as you're looking at this, and both of you now, since you're focused in that area, you both see this darker shade of blue in the ocean. Obviously, probably something underneath, and it seems to be drawing closer to the port side.
Is there any sort of something something light and worthless that'd float? Is there like an empty small barrel somewhere?
Sure. I mean, yeah. If you look around where you're at, there's a couple of barrels. more or less empty. There probably were like discarded supplies of what they use, like maybe
Okay.
rations or.
So I'm going to tie a rope to it, and can I throw it overboard after casting light on it? Because I want to see what's over here.
Sure. So, I'm assuming you probably have like what a 50 foot of a rope or something like that, or just probably a rope from off the
Yeah.
ship. Let's just say that. Um, or you probably tied something off, which was tied to something, and then tied it to the barrel. Um, the dock worker next to you, who happens to be the friend that you helped earlier, he's like, "What you doing there? What you what
And I tell him that I think I saw something, and I'm just checking it out.
you?"
Chris, while he's doing that, Rindlethor calls up to the first mate.
Mhm.
First mate Clarence, there's something large in the water, port side. I point over the side where Ragnar is doing this, and it's probably right about this moment where he tosses the barrel with the rope in, I'm assuming.
Right, and then yeah, and then Mr. Clarence, he looks up at you, kind of like, "Well, why, like not confused, but wondering why would you be, I guess, concerned with
Panicking.
concerned with what's within the water, because I mean it's just water.
Yeah,
But
but
then
it's
he
really big.
right, and then he taking the benefit of a doubt, he does call out to One Eye in the crow's nest, and he says, "One Eye, what you see over port side?" And a few minutes later, you hear One Eye call back, "Mr. Clarence, don't see nothing, just dark water. Wait, wait, wait. Ah, no need concern. Might be well." And Mr. Clarence calls back to you, and Thor is, "Well, lad, that might just be a whale about. Nothing to be concerned."
Oh, too small to capsize the boat then? I mean, it's huge, but okay.
So have we so the light, is that near where I saw it?
Right. So, as 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 they were deliberating about what's going on, let's call it the barrel, the lighted barrel that you set off into the water. It's slowly starting to float, and it's getting closer to the crate that Rindlethar has out there. It illuminates the water below it, and you do see what seems to be the size of a whale, but you're not too certain.
Okay.
But it's pretty, I guess, deep underneath the surface.
Yeah. Um, so if somebody did like a nature check, would that let us work out what we thought it was?
Sure, you can do a nature check to see if you recognize if it is actually a whale or some sort of sea creature.
Anyone else better at intelligence? Because mine's crap.
No, I will say that you're gonna do it because you're the ones looking over it.
Okay.
I can maybe aid you.
That'd be nice.
Wow.
Not that,
It's not
to give him
actually.
to give him advantage. I mean, we'll talk back and forth. Well, I don't know a lot about whales, but I do know that I think they have to breathe air. So maybe if we wait a moment, it'll surface again if it is a whale.
Oh yeah, and I can add a D4 because I've got the guidance spell.
Nice. That's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. You can use that a lot then.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, you're talking about it, so you are aiding each other and like
Give him
just, like,
advantage.
trying to wonder what is this damn thing that's over there. Um, Again, when the light source from the barrel hits, I guess, the surface of this creature's I guess skin, um, you do see what seems to be stripes across across its surface. And from what you know, you're not sure. You know some whales do have some stripes, and some whales don't, and some other creatures usually have stripes on them. But what you do notice is that this creature, it's getting a lot closer to the ship, almost like as if it's picking up speed.
I'm going to hold on to the something that
Move
looks
away from
sturdy
the
and
side.
in place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ragnar,
Well, I mean,
move away.
it's not picking up speed to the point where like it's rushing you. It just seems to be moving at a faster pace. I don't know how to say, but if it's walking, it's briskly walking now.
Right. Yeah,
Um.
well,
Clarence, are there striped whales that would be coming towards the ship? Because the dwarf has been keeping an eye on this thing. He's got a light over the side, and we're landlubbers, but we're concerned. I mean,
Exactly. And he says, "Striped whales. I mean, they come stripe, polka dot, whatnot."
okay,
Right.
maybe we're just paranoid.
What you call it? Where I lost track of. Oh, there's Argwin. I was like, okay. So Argwin, as you make your way over, what is it that is there anything that you planning on doing, or are you just making your way over?
I'm just kind of looking out in the water. I mean, I've got I saw something over on that side. Now these guys are clearly there's something over here. I'm just kind of being like overly attentive.
cautious.
Yeah,
Okay.
overly cautious. And I'm actually looking for Katie. I'm trying to figure out where she is because I have a feeling something bad is about to happen.
Right. Well, you do know that Katie,
So
she
I want to
went
make
below
sure
deck.
she's. Yeah, I'm kind of wanting to make sure she's still underneath and not up in
Alright.
here in case something happens.
So you want to go ahead and go below deck? Is that what you're saying?
I want to go check on her. Yeah, see what's going on.
All right. Hold on a second. All right. So here you are. I mean, when you make it down here, yeah, the first thing you do see is a quartermaster, but he's probably propped up against this post, sleeping. The Star Worker's not there. More or less everybody's like at their spot and basically tucked in for the night. You probably make your way back to where your stall is in this I guess bottom deck, and I know I don't have the token there, but you do see Katie. She's lying on the hammock, basically fast asleep.
Okay.
Right. I mean, these dock workers that are sprawled about. I mean, some of them are just up late, talking, conversating. Others are knocked out, probably half drunk or whatever.
Andal, what do you make of this, friend?
I'm not one for sea creatures. I don't know anything about them.
Nor I.
The ship's crew don't seem to be too concerned.
Right.
I'm gonna head back up to the upper deck.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and move you to the back. You at the upper deck.
When there's something to worry us more. But yeah, I am trying to pay attention. I did see something in the water over there, but it was just a small glint of moonlight off of something.
Well, let's
Nothing
be
that would
vigilant.
cause a shadow, I don't think.
Let's remain vigilant just in case. I mean, we're not doing anything else important right now.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go back to this side and scan out into the water now that I'm looking for something. Should I?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
Here.
Just from the vantage of being a little bit higher up on the edge of the deck, I'll stand at the top of the stairs, kind of watching out into the water over where the same side Ragnar's at.
Okay.
Yeah, I see the captain on the other side of
Okay.
the
I'll move
bow.
over here.
I don't want to. I kind of pissed him off earlier, so I'm gonna kind of stay over here on this side and do the same thing.
Okay.
Kind of looking out over on the edge.
All right. So, Andal, as you made your way towards there, you looked over. The dock worker or one of the crew member that's next to you, the sailor, he actually points out and says, "Hey, did you see that?"
Did I?
and you did see what he saw was another reflection of a sea creature, like another flash.
What do you think it is? I'm asking the dock worker.
And he's like, at this time of night, and he looks around like as if he's trying to look for some sign out in the air. Only thing I could think of is sharks, but why would they be out here? I mean, we ain't throwing any food over, or scraps.
Well, maybe we should talk to Rindlethar and ask him what was in that box.
You threw
Maybe we should get Rindlethar to bring the box back in.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
You see Brad Pitt pacing back and forth.
Yeah, ready to shoot somebody in the face. No, it was empty.
It was empty. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, did it contain fish at some point?
No,
or-
Gwyneth Paltrow's head is in it.
Okay. That might bring
Did the world a favor.
Morgan Freeman's floating on top narrating.
Yeah. Get busy living, get busy dying. God damn it.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like in the Google Hangouts we can see your GM roles.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
That's fine.
You should probably
Uh-oh.
okay.
So we know that Andal got a 20 on his perception. Ooh.
Did I? Oh. See, I keep mine open, the Roll20 in a different window.
Yeah, same here.
So,
I have it on a straight tab.
Oh, same here, but I've got two screens, so I just chuck roll 20
Oh,
on one.
jeez,
and
look at
that
you,
on the
man.
other.
Right. Yeah, that's how I've got mine set up.
Yeah.
No, just one screen here.
Although 2 screens is not enough, apparently.
No. I wish I had another.
Yeah.
I kind of just walk off that. Okay, so, Arguin, go ahead and give me another perception check as you're also looking over to the water on that side.
Ooh. Oh, that's still not adding his bonuses.
Oh, what are my bonuses from?
Whatever your perception check would be.
Yeah,
It's based on wisdom.
Yeah, you're an elf, so you're automatically proficient, so that'd be 3 plus your wisdom.
No, it doesn't automatically give you 3, does it?
It gives you proficiency.
Oh, yeah, at
Proficiency
5th
gives
level
you
it does
proficiency.
give you 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 3 plus his wisdom.
Says 12.
1. So it's 4. He
So you get
has
plus 4.
plus 4 to whichever roll you
Yeah,
choose.
actually, my wisdom says -1 as far as my modifier on it.
Oh, right. Wait, so you got 8 or 9?
Oh,
8.
okay.
You should still have plus 2, though.
Okay.
Yeah, it says 2. Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay,
you
where
got
it
plus
says
2 in
perception,
total.
proficient, yes.
Just click
Oh,
proficient.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2. Yeah, no. He has a negative wisdom modifier, so his 3 is -1.
So it's plus 2.
That's why he has plus 2.
Okay.
But it didn't add anything.
No, that's because it's not pulling from his.
It's not pulling from his perception.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
just maybe fix his macro to have a plus 2 then.
Can you copy over the macro into the
Yeah.
I mean, the macro
chat or
is
something?
not
You have to
listed.
put it in the Hangouts, because it'll try to roll it if you put it into the Roll20, but if you put it in the Google
exactly.
Hangouts chat, that'll
Well,
work.
if you just do,
Because then you can just add it as a token action. That's what I usually do. Oh, sorry, as an ability for your character.
yeah.
Hold on a second. Let's see. I think that should. There you go.
There you go.
All right. So, with Arguin's role, you see the same reflection, but instead of 1, you see 2. And they are drawing closer, almost, I would say about 20 yards away.
So it's closer than it was the last time I saw the one up front.
Yes.
Coming into dark vision range. 20 yards is 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I talked to this guy right here at the steps, and I'm like, I want to make sure he's watching out there. I kind of point out in the direction. I say, hey, there's more of them. It looks like they're surrounding us.
There you go.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, that's the updated thing. So you can just do that as an ability for your character.
Hmm.
And it'll automatically add your perception bonus.
So you just attached it to.
If you click on Attributes and Abilities tab, you add an ability. Because
Oh,
that way it automatically selects that that PC name. So you don't need to provide it.
What was the attribute? Is it just perception? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Well, I've copied over the thingy, so.
Oh, okay.
Into Hangouts, right?
Hang on,
Yeah.
Copy that whole thing, and then just put where it says name, put in my name.
Yep.
Right. So as you were telling this guy that you saw two more, and he tells you, well, I think you're right. And he says, see over there, and he ping over this spot over here. He sees that makes a third.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, quite peculiar, especially on evening, but maybe they're just hungry. We'll just throw them scraps in the morning and should be gone. Cool.
Oh yeah, that looks like that works.
Mm-hmm. The crits or the failures are really good indicators.
Yeah.
Right. So, and let's see here. Where are we at? So far you guys have seen. Well, I mean, it just seems to be like a collection of fish or something, just gathering by the sides of the boats. Well, aside from the one well-like on the port side.
So the ones that me and Argoin saw are smaller.
They are smaller than the one on the port side.
Okay. Okay.
And you said they're about dolphin-sized?
They're about dolphin size, yeah. They're you know I mean they are fish, but it's not like like a bass or something. They're a lot larger, but yeah, it's about like
Right.
dolphin size. So I mean, it's safe to assume that it might be a shark or a dolphin, but probably a shark, given the time of day.
How fast is the boat itself? I mean, are we clipping along at a pretty good speed right now?
Yeah, you guys are actually sailing at probably about like 3/4.
So they're specifically trying to follow us then.
Right. And they're putting on some pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of energy to burn to keep up with us like that. I would imagine. I mean, I guess I can do a nature check, but I mean, I would imagine that's I mean, that's quite a bit for them to be. I mean, at this point, wouldn't it be clear that they're kind of surrounding us, right? Ugh.
You're thinking, man, it could be, but you're not too sure if that's what these creatures are doing. I mean, they are keeping pace with the ship, but I mean the ship is not moving like how it would move during the day, which is at full sail, just just full throttle. It's basically when Mr. Clarence takes the helm, he's not, the captain has him go at like 3/4 or half speed. Basically, that's not so much so that the ship will he starts to doze at the helm, that they don't go off course.
So how fast would we expect if we talk to Clarence, how long does he think the dolphins or the sharks or whatever, sorry, would be able to would be able to keep up with us normally?
Well, he tells you, he goes, well, he says that he's seen packs, well, not packs, but he sees like a shark or two, a few that would follow the ship for given 2-3 miles, probably because of like the scraps that they throw overboard.
And
But
how many knots are we going at?
I'm not too familiar with how fast knots are.
It's like
A
nautical,
knot is a
nautical
mile an
miles.
hour. It's a nautical
It's-
mile, which is pretty
yeah.
similar to a mile.
But
Just call it.
it's about similar. I mean, that's what I mean. Is like comparable to about a mile as a knot, basically.
Yeah.
What you gonna say?
Pretty close.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let's see. If you guys are going full sail, you'd probably be going about, I would say about 50, 60. But at 3/4, you guys are probably going about half of that.
3/4 is half.
Well, like 45.
Well, even 50, 60 knots. I mean, for the ship
pretty
we're
fast.
on, is that even possible?
Yeah, that doesn't
doubt it.
sound that right.
I mean,
Uh,
even
okay.
steam engines,
I think it's
modern day
usually-
steamliners.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
like I
think
said, I don't
it's
really know.
usually about- I think
but
it's
30
usually
would be the max, I
10.
think.
I think I'd probably say 15, 20 knots would be
15,
Yeah.
20 knots, 30 knots? Okay.
would probably be pushing it. Yeah, maybe.
Well, okay.
I don't know. I guess I can Google it real quick.
Maybe
Yeah.
25 max. In a high
Yeah,
wind.
that's what I'd be thinking.
How big is this boat?
So,
It's about 130 feet long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
Overall
size ship.
speed seems to be around 6 knots.
yeah, like 10 knots is reasonably high.
Yeah, that's very fast. 10 knots is very fast for a ship this
Uh,
size.
Because I seem to recall that if you go on like a ferry, they have top speed they're allowed to go at is like 8 or something knots.
Yeah, but that's still powered.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
talking
that's
about
what I'm
a
saying.
wind.
Yeah, that's got a big old engine pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
that's just the top speed they're allowed to go at.
Yes.
Okay, so we're basically on a galley. Maximum
Mhm.
speed is 4 miles an hour.
Yeah, so 4
Okay.
knots,
Okay.
around 4 knots.
well,
That's at max speed, so we're only traveling like 3 knots.
yeah, probably like
Right.
So
3.
they'd be able to keep up with us. The sharks be able to keep up with us for like
Oh,
Pretty,
an hour.
yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
Okay,
easy.
okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. Again, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, just drop the 0, Chris, and you're golden.
There you go. No, but you guys are not anchored. You guys are just going. Yeah, so probably like about a max of like two knots. Sharks can keep up with you guys.
Oh yeah, sharks can get up to about 5 miles an hour,
Yeah.
so they could outpace us if they wanted to.
Right.
So where do we leave off? Oh yeah. So I believe we were at.
Keep
Oh,
a
Ragnar.
sharp eye out.
That's right. Real Fire years conversing with Mr. Clarence. Ragnar, give me another perception check.
Okay.
All right. Let me see this. Okay. So, aside from the darker shade of, or I guess the whale shadow that you see another reflection of, I guess a dolphin or shark over here, and the sailor that's right next to you, he also points out to about over here, and he says, "Does that look like it's getting closer?"
Well, does it to me? Do I think it's getting closer?
It's the dark shade of the whale. It does seem like it's getting closer.
So that would be about only about 30 feet away now. Shit.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna ask these guys if they've got any on that side as well. on the right side of the ship?
There seems to be some small creatures
Taking a peek.
over here.
Yeah, there's some small ones over here up on the front.
Small,
They seem to be gathering in closer and in number.
still, being small, they're still about the size of a man or larger.
Right. Right. And wasn't that lady like talking about sea hagans or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So,
Right.
I mean, a dolphin. I mean, even a medium-sized dolphin's what, 5, 6 feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's wrong, Andy?
That stupid Davison thing.
What do you mean?
I'll have to call Chris.
What about it?
Davison PRV alarm.
I didn't see
Why
it.
is on here?
I don't know.
Oh, Rob, we can hear you.
5:33 in the morning. Davison PRV panel door alarm.
Oh, there it is. Now it's up there. East Lake Road Seal 2 alarm, though.
It's tied into East Lake Road though.
And having brought to Mr. Clarence's attention, he turns to the crew behind him, and he tells them, "You lads keep a sharp eye out. Something's not right. There should only be like one or two of these things following us, but I just spotted one over here," and he points over in this direction.
Mm.
I ask him whether attacking them to try and get them to go away is a good idea, or whether they just attack back.
I don't know. Find out.
Okay.
Aim for one of the small ones. Don't aim for the big one first.
Can I roll some sort of check to try and work that out?
Which one? Okay. You do see one over here. The big one is basically just like right over here.
Right. So can I do some sort of check to try and work out whether I think attacking one of them is a good idea?
Um.
I'm not sure what kind of check that'd be. Either intelligence
Sure.
or
You
wisdom or
could
some
give
sort.
me you could give me a nature check. This is to see what you know about sea creatures and probably how they react and what you know. Okay.
Oh, sweet. Chris,
Right.
18.
You know that that if you were to, I guess attack or to attack these creatures, more than likely they probably, I mean, given the fact that they're sea creatures or like what you've seen so far, they'll probably just go away. But you're not too sure about the big guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So I ask one of them if they want to, say, shoot one of the smaller guys, or if I should sacred flame it.
If I can hear this, I would say, if they're sharks or whatnot, we're pretty safe on this boat. The big guy might be trouble if he decides to do something, but
Right. I would probably have to go along those same lines of, I mean, if all they are dolphins and sharks, they can't get us here.
yeah.
I mean, and the big
So-
one, I mean, definitely don't shoot the big thing, whatever it is, because you don't know, that might be something really bad.
Yeah. I'm still in wait and see.
I mean, I have Mage Hand. I mean, I guess I could cast Mage Hand and like
pet one of them.
pet
Not really
one,
do
or
much. Yeah.
I mean,
Try to find that spot to get its tail.
well, I mean, I could flick it. I mean, it's only got a strength of 1, but I can still at least poke something, or
Mm-hmm.
I could stick it in front, and make them run into it when they're swimming. Make
I'm
them
not
swim
sure
through the
really
hand.
noticed that.
No. All right. Well, then I'm out of ideas. I definitely don't think we should shoot it, though.
Yeah, okay.
I'm wait and see. I'm wait and see.
All right. As you guys are basically like unawares now about what's going on, even one eye above, he calls down to Mr. Clarence and he says, "Off the port side, seems to be something. Can't make it out. Mr. Clarence. And you see Mr. Clarence, he looks over to the port side, and he too now sees this big shadow in the water at it's approaching. And he turns back to the crew behind him and he says, "All right, man, steady now. We must. I don't know. This is.
Why
Maybe I
not?
should go get the captain."
Why not tack away from the big thing? You know, start turning the ship away from it.
Right.
That-
See if it chases us. See if it follows us.
Should we go up to full speed?
I, I, I really don't know. Maybe if you yeah, Hugh. If you hold on to the helm, I'll go get the captain. See what he. What he
Okay.
thinks.
I've been watching.
Right. I mean, more or less, you probably were taught a few things about it, in your inquiries and stuff. So
Hey, Chris, I missed the last like 2-3 minutes. What do they think it is?
they
We don't
still
know
don't know
yet.
what it is.
I'm not really sure.
Mr. Clarence is actually going to go below deck right now to go get the captain to figure out what to do next, because it's not his, he's not in his capacity to actually, to move the ship or go faster. And he obviously does not know what's happening, but he told the crewmen behind him that are arming the ballista to keep a keen eye,
Okay.
on these things that are basically starting to approach the ship, maybe even starting to circle it.
Well, I'm gonna knock an arrow and kind of be at the ready just in case.
Yeah.
And currently, Endo right now he's at the helm,
I'm at the helm.
and he's gonna start to sing a shanty now. So,
Did I get a hat too to put on?
A tricorner hat with a big plume.
Yeah, sure. Arrgh. Right. Let's see. Where's everybody at? Okay. Ragnar. You're approaching Captain Hallis, and he turns to you and says, "What's all the hubbub?"
I tell him that there's some rather large. We don't know what it is, but there's something that's very, very large which is following us. It might be some sort of whale, and there's the whole pack of other things which are smaller.
Ah,
And I asked him if he'd bring his guards up to help us out in case there's any problems.
do you want me to call my men? Dwarf ordering me around. And he's holding a pipe in his hand, and he takes out basically like a strike match. And he strikes it on probably on one of the surfaces on the bow, and lights it. Starts to light the pipe. And takes a puff, and he goes, "Really? Be gone with you, ordering me around."
I'm just going to continue standing here. I don't really like being ordered around by somebody who I feel is not quite as being as wise as they should be.
Right. And he's looking at you and he says, "Well, dwarf, I thought I told you to." And as he's about to finish up that sentence, you see his eyes. They all of a sudden they go like bright, like he saw something, but he's looking at you, and he's not making a sound. He's just looking at you with wide eyes.
I look behind myself because I'm presuming that's where he's actually looking at, and he saw something there.
Right. When you look around behind you, you don't see anything. And then when you turn around to look at the captain, he's actually falling over towards you, and
Like fainting or something.
almost like he's fainting, but he's reaching out for you. And as he falls to the floor, there is what seems to be like a wooden stake probably about 6 foot in length, sticking out of his back.
Okay. Can I see anybody there?
You can go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you know where this came from.
Well, presumably.
Ooh,
I seem to really like rolling 2s and
hopefully it's a
3s.
7.
Because, yeah.
Right. You don't have a definite idea where this stake came from, but now you have a captain of the Black Fist Guard at your feet, and he's heavily breathing, and he's bleeding profusely on the deck.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him.
Remove the stake first.
Cure the stick inside
Well,
him.
actually, can I first try and do like a medicine skill check to try and remove the stake?
Sure, go ahead.
And while I do this, I'm gonna call out to somebody, or just call out in general and say that this guy's been injured. Oh, shit.
The fail, it burns.
And the captain dies as he pulls out the stick.
But it's only captain of the Black Fist Guard, not the ship captain. So.
Right. So,
Oh, he's still a person.
as he's trying to tend to.
What do you know about the
Captain-
Black Fists?
Nothing.
They're basically scum.
They're the corruptible private military.
Mercenaries.
Yeah. So,
I'm
As
not about
you're-
to mourn his passing.
Well, when he shouts, I'm gonna make my way over where he's shouting at.
okay. So you're making your way over to where he's shouting at as he's trying drastically to.
Because he's just on the other side for me, yeah?
Yeah, he is. As you were making your way over, you notice that this crew member over here, he suddenly falls overboard.
No.
Okay, well, I turn around and run back over, and I'm like, man overboard, man overboard. And I'm looking for rope or something I can throw him.
All right, hold on a second. Let's just fix this here.
You should probably watch out for anything that's in the water around him and try
Yeah.
and kill it.
Hey guys, I hate to be the killjoy here, and you don't have to stop on my account, but I have to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It's 6 a.m. here on the East Coast, and kind of have to wrap it up because I'm out of here in like less than an hour now.
Right. So,
Okay.
I do pose a question. Do you guys want to continue, or should we leave off of what's going to happen off of this guy falling overboard?
I don't really mind either way.
I'm thinking that we probably should wait.
Should wait.
Have everybody. Yeah, everyone should be
Yeah.
here.
But
Sure.
If you want to continue a little bit, guys, please do. Chris can NPC me. I mean, he knows how I play Rindlethar, so I'm totally.
Yeah, I mean, he'll just jump into the water onto the crate.
Yeah,
and
and maybe I could just catch the. Oh no. Maybe I could just catch the end of it on the podcast and on YouTube. Or whatever. It's up to you guys, however you want to roll.
No, I'll actually call it. We'll leave off here. It's actually a good point to
Cliffhanger.
stop. Yeah, and then actually, Aragorn, as you're making your way towards Ragnar to help assist in, I guess, aiding Captain Hollis, the man that fell overboard. So you turn back right around and you scream out, man overboard," drawing everybody's attention, and you probably call down to the guy like, "We're gonna come help you," that kind of thing, and he's thrashing about in the water, and he's like, "All right, like I'll wait. I guess here," and then as soon as he says that, a shark comes out from beneath the water and grabs him, takes him underneath.
So we definitely know there's sharks now.
You definitely know shark.
Definitely
Shark came
not
out.
dolphins.
They're not. Definitely. Well, one of them's not dolphin.
Spear wielding sharks
Spear wielding sharks at that, huh?
that shoot bees.
Right. When you saw the shark come up and pick off the sailor that fell overboard, you did notice as the shark was diving back into the water that there was something riding on the back of it.
Oh,
Okay.
it's the
Oh, no.
whatchamacallit.
So the sharks
Okay.
are mounts for maybe Sahagin or Merman.
Yeah, Sahagin, that's the one. I'm thinking it's Sahagin because what the Watchmajiggy
Well, and that's what the lady
Elf
was
said.
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they're after her.
Maybe they're chasing her down
Yeah.
because she's
They
important.
knew, maybe even though she tried to depart in secrecy, maybe somebody found out.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, whoever's in charge of her secrecy needs to probably get a new job.
Yeah. You failed.
Rolling up with an armed guard personal escort with one person is just not a good way to be incognito.
Gee, I wonder if this could be someone important that we're looking for. Yeah.
Right.
All right, cool,
Cool.
man. So we'll
Well, hey,
leave it
and-
there, guys.
We got everybody in the group too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everyone's
Yeah.
here now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the RP earlier when you guys were introducing each other. Couldn't
Oh
have
yeah,
gotten
that's
better.
always fun.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have the other Steven on.
I hope so.
Yeah, because I kind of miss hearing Talesh's the banter between you guys.
We always have fun.
But yeah, so we'll pick off here. Oh, that's cool. It's been fun, guys.
Until next time then.
All right. We'll see you guys next week then.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Good game.